And greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Anime Podcast, your ultimate hub for all things anime and more. This is episode 145, and we're about to unleash a whirlwind of excitement. Join us, presented by AniMa Weebs Studio, as we embark on another thrilling journey into the world of animation. Tonight, we're diving into the latest buzz and hottest news in Otaku Big News and Buzz Central. From the emotional depth of the Life Update Lounge to a dimension-traveling adventure with Deadpool and Wolverine and the Transformers 1 trailer. Don't forget to stick around to our animation spotlight on the epic finale of Invincible Season 2, covering episodes 6 through 8 in depth, engaging with us. So share this episode, bring your friends, and let's make tonight unforgettable. Team panel is the Me Extraordinary Mutants steering the cause of the Anime Lately podcast, your getaway to the portals of the multiverse. Myself, the leader of the Autobots army, rolling out the narrative.
We've got Walk-ins, your navigator through that said multiverse.
We've got a Rome with a dot, trapped in the void like a Deadpool variant.
And we got Jokester, alien hater number 1, just like my man Immortal.
Ooh.
Sometimes you gotta be a hater, or sometimes you gotta miss your wife. But hey,
I miss my wife.
I miss my wife.
without further ado, let's get started with the show. With tonight, let's get straight to it, to the Life Update Lounge. It is, if it's your first time, if it's been a while, the Life Update Lounge it's time for a weekly check-in, our highs and lows. Let's pour a virtual cup of tea or coffee or liquor or whatever you find. Settle in. Let's connect on the personal side of our adventure. Without further ado, how's everyone doing this week? Any exciting news or channels you want to share? Any medium you have consumed that you want us to talk about?
I think I miss my dog.
Well,
God damn it.
I think I miss my wife.
sometimes you gotta.
I miss my wife, Tails.
I'm about to say something with Shadow. But hey,
Sonic.
I do want to say, John. Not somebody. I said this dude, John McGregor. Oh, damn. I'm talking about Roadhouse. That's the movie I saw. And McGregor was actually a surprising role in that movie. He actually did better than expected.
Wait, what movie?
Roadhouse on Amazon Prime.
They remade Roadhouse?
Yes, with Jake Gyllenhaal as the
Who
main.
is Jake? Jake Gyllenhaal is playing Patrick Swayze?
Yes.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
And McGregor was a villain. He was actually a good one. I feel like the movie could have been honestly 20 minutes shorter. It was like 2 hours and 5 minutes or something. I feel like the movie could have been 20 minutes shorter overall. But it was entertaining. It hit the spot. I was actually having a good time. The choreograph between the boxing between McGregor and Jake Gyllenhaal and a few other actors along the side, it made it believable.
Conor McGregor. I'm not tripping here, right? Conor McGregor?
Yeah, Conor McGregor.
Who the fuck is that guy? Conor McGregor?
Yeah, him.
Oh my god, I gotta go watch this fucking
Wait,
movie.
he was in the movie?
He's
Yeah.
the villain,
Yeah.
apparently. Okay, cool. Gotta go watch this movie.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, sure.
It was good. Right now, IMDb is a 6.2. I gave it a solid 7.5, 3.5 out of 5, and 7.5 out of 10. It was entertaining for what it was. I actually have a good time. The characters, Jake Gyllenhaal, it was Dalton, was his name. He is a former UFC fighter, and then something happened in his background, in his past, that he was trying to escape from, and Roadhouse is what it is.
How many roundhouse kicks were delivered?
Not enough.
I mean,
I do agree, not enough.
I'll you know what? I'll accept that rating as a good enough indicator to go watch it, because most direct to Amazon movies are like 3s out of 10s. So yeah, if the consensus is like somewhere between 6.5 to 7.5, I'll 100% take that.
Coming to America 2 was fucking ass.
Yeah, Coming to America 2 was a 3.
Yes, it was a 3. It could have been so much better. It could have been so much
You
better.
guys actually watched that?
I did.
Unfortunately,
I did not.
Hey,
black.
I love the
saw-
first
I saw
one.
those trailers. I was like, nah, I can't.
I love the
can't
first one.
after
It's like
those
nah.
trailers.
So here's the
I'm
thing.
black. I have a moral obligation.
So like I'm not much of a movie watcher, right? I am usually
Right.
just strictly an anime person. So when one of my best friends found out there is a list of like black movies that I have never seen.
I remember
Coming
this
to America
conversation,
being
yeah.
one of them. She made sure that we went through a list of movies.
Whoa, you've never seen the original?
I didn't see it until a year before Coming to America 2 came out.
Ah,
And then I watched the original.
Mm.
I fell in love with it. I was singing Soul Glow for months. Then we saw Coming to America 2 and I was pissed.
yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
okay,
that'll do
hold on, because I hate to make a fucking tangent. Have you seen Trading Places?
I have not.
I'm talking, Paul,
Wait, Trading
one-
Places?
Bruh.
the one where Eddie
Yeah.
Murphy and Dan Aykroyd swap places and Eddie Murphy starts working on Wall Street?
And Danny Aykroyd becomes a bum.
I've-
I've
you're gonna
seen
get mad
it,
at
but
my-
not recently. I've
Like-
seen it, but not recently in years.
Really? I'm not gonna get mad at that. I'm just like surprised. That's a really. Have you seen Life
No.
with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence?
Oh yes, I have. I have
Oh
seen that.
boy,
have
I
seen that.
started
Okay.
sweating. I felt my chest tighten up.
I have seen Life.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
take it.
I've seen
I'll
Life as
take
well.
it, man. I'll
Uh,
take it.
Usually, I rewatch these films because my wife is part black in that aspect, so we do. That's her genre a lot that she watches, and I watch it with her, and I rewatch a lot of films in that aspect, and I don't mind it.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, Roadhouse, amazing for what it was. Is fun. I had a good time with it. Another anime that I watched that I was telling Paul was the series Gensoki. He told me that you watched it with him.
Wait, Gintoki?
Sari Gensaki,
It's the Spirit
the,
Chronicles.
Yeah, Spirit Chronicles. Remember the him protagonist that got isekai into a slave or whatever?
And then he was a royalty of blood.
Spirit Chronicles. It's been a while.
If you look at our channel, our chat, I have a
This
screenshot.
guy! Yes!
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay, yes, I do remember this show. We never finished that. I really enjoyed
We
it.
did finish it.
No, we did not.
Yeah, we
We
did.
watched season 1. We did not watch season 2.
It's because season 2 is not out yet until this year.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
about to say, boy, don't tell me that.
I'm confused. This
Yeah.
is the one where like the girl almost got sniped at her fake wedding, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Had to
Ooh.
because like when you call names, so I am very strictly a dub person for most anime. So when you tell me the name of an anime, you gotta tell me the English name, because if you tell me the Japanese one, I'm not gonna. That's like when you say, like, for example, I'm gonna use Paul's favorite. When you say Shokugeki no Soma, I don't know what that is. I know what Food Wars is. Yeah,
Yep.
but when you say Boku no Hero, it's like just call it My Hero Academia.
No,
like
it's My Hero Academia.
I can't stand
The
Boku no
marketing
Hero.
is right there. It literally.
I am
Boku no
like
Hero.
Boku no
I-
Hero, bro.
I don't get mad when people. I don't get
See,
mad
it's
when people
Kumai.
do it, right? I don't get mad when people do it because I understand
Yeah.
that people watch shows differently.
Yeah.
But for me personally, I'm not gonna have any idea what you're saying, and just like you gotta be aware that like when you say things, and I'm like, who? That's why, you know.
With this anime, I watch it randomly on a Saturday afternoon. I binge it with 6 hours and actually enjoy more what it was. And then I was happy to find out season 2 is coming out this summer or fall. So I'm like, yeah, I'm all for it.
Man, just hit me up when they make another season of Dragon Maid, and I'll listen to that. That's my show right there.
Definitely need to plan to watch that. But
Oh my god, Dragon Maid made me cry.
I still haven't seen season 2 of Dragon Maid.
Oh my god, season 2 made me cry. Dragon Maid is one of those shows where like it randomly goes from slice of life to, oh my god, this is the best animated action scene I've ever seen in anything. Why is this here?
you're talking about Mitsuko Kobayashi Dragon Maid, right?
Yeah, where it has no
yeah,
reason to be there.
Some of the
Like,
fight
no-
scenes in Dragon Maid are absolutely amazing.
They will randomly have these like spectacles, like animated better than anything you've ever seen in Attack on Titan or
What?
the
Really?
Broly movie. Like it is that,
I've seen a few of the clips go
Serious.
around.
and it's
Yeah, I've seen
and
some of the clips.
it's because occasionally the dragons are like, I'm bored, want to spar, and that's it. It's just for
Alright.
laughs, but it's the best animated thing you'll ever seen. Like Kyoto
That
Animation,
is
though.
fire.
Kyoto Animation do not fucking play.
Oh man, Kyoto Animation. I feel bad what happened years ago still for them.
I am very glad that they have bounced back as well as they have.
Appreciate that for that. Welcome, Crash. I don't know if
Hey,
you're
welcome, guys.
Don't need the peanut gallery.
Welcome,
we're here.
brother man.
We're here talking in our
Welcome.
live update lounge. We're here just discussing what we've been watching, anything that you wanna highlight, anything you wanna share about life overall as well. So I gave my Roadhouse and Spirit Chronicles.
Life could be okay. Anime-wise, I just finished season 2 of Dr. Stone, watching the movie, and heading towards season 3. And currently, my son is sick. I have to go to the hospital visit, but hopefully everything's gonna be okay. But besides that, life is life. Life continues, you know.
Nice.
Oh, best of luck to you on
Yeah,
that, man.
alright. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope your son feels better.
Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate
Same
it.
likewise.
Yeah, man.
Anybody else want to share anything that they've been watching? Anything that you guys want to share?
I mean, well, oh, go ahead, Paul. You got it.
So I usually don't consume like much like regular TV shows or like Netflix shows or something like that. But recently I've watched two that I really enjoyed. One is a series called On My Block. It has like 3 or 4 seasons, and it was very freaking good. But also, Jesus Christ, them kids went through a lot to be in fucking high school. Like, you think kids be going through a lot in the anime to be in high school? At least they got magic and shit. These little niggas is just they're just freshmen. Like, they're just freshmen, bruh. And one of them happens to be very autistic, like to the point where it makes the story.
It does.
And like it's a lot of the characters will piss you off, but it's because they're kids. And then it's like you're watching these kids grow up and they're making dumb decisions, but they're put in such a bad situation that you forget that they're kids until they remind you, oh yeah, we're kids. Like, but yeah, I definitely recommend it. It made me cry like 4 times. Fuck that show, but damn, is it good.
I've only seen season 1, but I heard it was good though.
I believe the best character. But the other show is an apocalypse show called Daybreak. It's Net's Declassified. Put it in an apocalypse. Like it's very freaking funny, and it's really good, except the ending, and it's not getting a second season, unfortunately.
Oh.
Oh, I see it. I see the Ned Disclassified style.
And it was a very good series. The only thing that kept distracting me was that the main character looked like a very young John Cena.
I see that.
How do you see it? It's John Cena.
Yeah.
Can't see him.
Shut up, you dork.
Baby Driver was added on Netflix. Oh, I know what I'm gonna watch tonight. That's one of my favorite movie. Baby Driver. Oh, so I
I
got
love
distracted.
that movie.
Oh, Baby
Yeah,
Driver. is
that's
good.
2 things I've watched in recent.
Anybody else want to add anything?
Oh man, oh man, oh man. I am starting my annual, well, semi-annual. I usually do it twice a year if I'm lucky. My annual rewatch of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I'm
Yes.
on
Best
episode,
anime ever made.
I am on
Yeah.
episode.
By far.
I'm on episode 7 right now, and I already know I'm gonna be crying by the next episode again.
I
Like we do every time.
still haven't seen the original, but I think I messed up because I watched Brotherhood first, then I tried to watch the original, and I couldn't pass by episode 22 or 25, and that's why I'm like, you know what? I seen the better version. I'm good with where I was at.
Yeah,
I
High
tried-
Key Brotherhood is just better.
I tried watching 2003, and I like a couple of the theme songs that 2003 had, but once you watch Brotherhood, it's like, this is the greatest thing I will ever see in my life. Like, this is like having like filet mignon for like 64 episodes straight, and then somebody hands you a pack of bologna, and it's like,
There you go.
Oh,
Damn, the original's
There you
bologna? Shit.
I mean, it's like beef
Look.
bologna, so it's like better, but like it's still bologna. So it's like, and that's not to knock anybody who likes the other one better, because obviously people are gonna have their preferences, but like your preferences are wrong, and I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
But I mean, of course, the other things I've been watching are like
X-Men 97? How's that
Which will
going?
get-
Yes. Oh, it's so
Oh
good.
my God.
Episode 5 was
Oh.
a movie in itself. I feel bad
I
for
know,
Rick
right?
Moranis.
I
No
know
spoiler.
I know that we're gonna get that later, and I know that we're probably not gonna do anything super spoiler about that one, because that one's a very, very important show right now. So I'm gonna avoid anything on that. And what was the other one that's everybody's been watching and talking about lately? I can't.
Are they
Fallout,
Shogun?
just finished.
I didn't watch
Yeah.
Shogun. I've heard Fallout was really good as well, but that made me go back and start playing New Vegas, because I mean, why not? That's the best Fallout game. But no, I actually sat down because I started a new job recently, overnight, and my job is to basically sit there and watch a homeless shelter throughout the night and sit there in a chair, like in a recliner, and just watch TV all night. So I watched through all of Abbott Elementary. I'm all the way caught up with that. I think a new episode comes out next week.
Nice.
So I'm kind of like getting the itch right now, where it's like I don't have anything to watch, but
we all do.
That show is really, really good. Like I was
Abbott
like,
Elementary.
I watched season 1. I was like, okay, this is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
But then I started from the beginning and watched all the way up to the middle of season 3, where it's at now. And it has consistently been some of the best world building and the best just character interactions that I've like. This is my The Office. This is like I never liked The Office. This is my Office.
I cannot get into The Office. I never could have actually
The
got
Office
into
is
it.
a very boring show.
I think that The Office is it's a show for one. It's a show for a different time, and two, it's a show for a different demographic. Whereas Abbott Elementary, the kids that you see in that show, these are kids that are just like my younger brothers and sisters, the kids I grew up with, you know? So, like, I can relate to these shows more coming up at a public school where you have no funding. Everything's always starting to be taken away from you. The district won't do anything unless it's free. You got people in positions of power that shouldn't be there, people who aren't in position of power that deserve more recognition, and teachers that are just, like, underutilized, underappreciated, and underpaid and everything. And it's just like this. I saw all this growing up, and it's like
and my goat Zach Fox is in it.
Zach Fox is hilarious in it, and seeing Tyler James Williams, who was Chris and Everybody Hates Chris, if you don't know who that is, if you see the face, you don't recognize who it is specifically, but you're like, I kind of realized
you must know who that is.
You'll know.
He played Chris from Everybody Hates Chris. You'll see him, you'll be like, okay, I recognize the eyes. Yeah, that's him. He is just a fucking powerhouse. And I know that they say that Gregory isn't necessarily autistic coded or spectrum coded, but he is 110% autistic. I look at him and I see interactions that I have every day, actions that I persist in every day, systems and cycles that I go through, and I'm like, I can relate to that so wholeheartedly. I see my friends in Janine. I see my elders in Melissa and in Barbara, and it's like, this show is really what we needed, you know? Because people talk about how we don't get a lot of representation for like positive black characters in media, and this show knocks it out of the fucking park, man. Like, if you like The Office and mockumentary shows like that, if you like Modern Family, everything like that, you are absolutely going to love Abbott Elementary. 100%.
Is a mockumentary?
I was
Modern Family is a mockumentary. Yeah.
I've never seen Modern Family.
If you were looking for a relatively feel good sitcom that you can sit there and binge through, or just watch every week with your friends or your family or your boo or whatever, it's definitely one of those shows. You know, it works as a binge show and it works as a weekly show, depending on how you want to do it. All I know is I got on Disney Plus, saw all my Hulu shows were on there, and was like, yeah. Like it was so weird turning on Disney Plus and watching Full Metal Alchemist earlier. It's just
that, and also it's weird to see Disney Plus with a lot of shows that I never expected to be on that platform. That's like anime related or horror related, or
yeah,
you know, like,
and it's because of Hulu.
yeah, it's like weird. Okay,
Well,
shit,
okay,
it works.
so right now it's because of Hulu. In a couple months, it's gonna be. Well, actually, already I think the Deadpool movies are already on there.
Yeah, they're on there already.
Yeah, they've been on there, haven't they?
I don't think they've been on. I don't think the second one's been on there for that long. But I think
Okay.
they have. I
Um,
think they have all the X-Men movies on there now.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember they
Yeah.
had those
so
out.
wait, are they moving everything from Hulu over to?
Well, at the moment they haven't said they're destroying Hulu yet, but so far they just have everything so far like a beta. That's what they're saying right now.
'cause Hulu is
Okay.
where I started watching Witchblade, and I need to finish that.
It's on Disney.
It's on Disney already.
Everything that's on
Okay.
Hulu is on Disney Plus if you have a Hulu subscription and a Disney Plus subscription. So
Okay.
I pay for both, and I just use the one app. But I got like the Black Friday deal when it was like $4 or $3, so I only pay $3 for it every month.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, if you started watching something on Hulu and you go to Disney
That's-
Plus,
You could,
it's gonna show it on there as, hey, this is where you left off on the show. And it's like that because in other countries, all the Disney Plus content is on Hulu because Disney Plus is the thing. So
Yeah.
when they do merge it, they're probably just gonna make Hulu. They're just gonna call it Hulu Disney Plus. They're all gonna
Got
just
you.
push everything into one place. So it's because of it being like that international that they're trying to make everything one app.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
They did
You
the
could-
same thing with Funimation and Funimation and Crunchyroll. So now anything that you watched in Funimation before is all in Crunchyroll.
yeah, but
Yeah, but
Crunchyroll.
they-
Yeah.
Hold up.
They
Oh, you
bumped,
know what?
Yeah, they bumped the prices of that so fucking high.
Yeah,
It was
they
like,
did.
I'm still one of them people that's paying $10 a month, but that's because I have the old membership from like 10 years ago. So my membership is probably hopefully
Wait, for
never change.
Crunchyroll?
Wait,
Yeah.
yeah, Crunchyroll or Funimation?
Crunchyroll used to be $60 a year.
Yeah.
It got bumped up to $100 a year.
Yeah, so-
that's okay.
If anybody that becomes a new member in Crunchyroll now, you're paying the current prices. But if you're an old member, yeah, so if you're an old member, you're
Yeah.
still paying your prices. So if you cancel and then try to renew, you're fucked because you're never
Oh,
gonna
are you
get the price.
playing? Are you paying annually or monthly?
Monthly, and it's still
Okay.
$9.99.
Well,
Same.
no, it's supposed to be.
No.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
paying annual. I'm paying that 100. It hurts. but,
Yeah,
you know,
no.
That's
If you- if
that's
you-
a yearly problem.
If you were paying annually, it's 60 or it's like $60 or $70. If you're paying monthly, it was always $10. That
I
didn't
missed
change.
that deal,
But I
but
heard the
I'm not
monthly
stressed about it.
prices were going up though.
No, the monthly prices was going up to $9. You've already paid what? Yeah, no, you're good. You're already smoked. I'm sorry. Yeah, no,
But-
it's I don't know, man. I think that currently the way that streaming services are kind of circling the drain, we're really just steamrolling right back towards cable so quickly. Because I think
we are for
Disney
sure.
Disney Plus is supposed to start introducing channels soon.
To me,
Why?
No, hold on. That is a stupid news article because other apps have already started doing that before. It's just Disney Plus announced it like they're trying to do what is like a Marvel channel. Like they're trying to show movies in case. I heard that the reason that in case of kids they don't know what to watch. You know, kids are like 5 to 8 years old or 10 years old. Instead of the parent trying to find out what to play them, they have channel like for instead of you paying cable, it have in your Disney XD or Disney Kids, you have it on the Disney Plus channel. I mean, on the app, and you have like a Disney for kids only, and you have all of them playing like on reruns. So instead of you trying to click next episode and everything, you have that as a whole rerun showing for the first 24 hours, or like the whole week, or Marvel channel, Star Wars channel, stuff like that is what I saw. Which that's kind of smart, but the way they're kind of announcing it, it sounds like cable.
TV, like especially because
Yeah.
it has ads now. That's just TV.
Yeah, with the
And-
ads,
yeah, exactly.
TV,
Like-
and I hate that.
Yeah, it's this. Like I know that other apps have it too, and I think it's dumb that the other apps have it too. Because like honestly, just press the shuffle button. Like most apps have a shuffle button, like a randomized, like just pick a show button.
Yeah.
Or they used
Yeah.
to. I don't know if they still do. I remember back in the day, you used to be able to hit a button and
I
just
know.
throw something on.
I know Netflix does like that. I think that's where it originated from. I don't know about like any other sites though. I haven't really messed around with or like seen that on like Hulu or anything.
I know
Man, I
Peacock has
just
it
Yeah.
because with Peacock, the last thing I
Mm.
was gonna add on my end of what I've been watching is a show Extended Family. It's actually been good. It's been entertaining because myself that is in a long that's a long term relationship see a lot of the communication and the dynamics of how a couple is with parenting and how it is when
Mm.
you go from a marriage and to divorce, and then how to handle that with your kids, and then when the spouse has a new partner, and they tackled that very well. The writing could be a lot better, but
mm,
the what's on screen with the actors and executing the communication about the kids going to school, how one parent has to drop out from doing a task that you promised them, but then the stepdad has to jump in and be that role next because you are going to become the stepdad of the family. I love that because a lot of shows don't show that very much of how it is to actually have a healthy dynamic relationship with marriage and divorce when there's always showing like the toxic side in most shows. But to see this show Extended Family done well, it actually is been entertaining. I had low expectation for the show, but then me watching 13 episodes I've seen so far, it's been entertaining. So for anybody that wants to see a healthy relationship, type of dynamic relationship about marriage and divorce and having two kids and being in Boston, then go for it.
Word. All right.
I like it.
How about one?
Yeah.
Because you got anything you want to say or bring up of shows that you have come up with?
So I finally hold on. How long ago was that? I need to actually timestamp this. So I'm about maybe a week out of my Final Fantasy VII brain rot because of Rebirth. And God, first of all, 80 hours into that game.
Wow.
So finish that off. Thank the Lord, because now I can finally catch up on a lot of things. I've caught up on a buttload of stuff. Like, I mean, let's see. Let me look through my list. Finished Frieren and Solo Leveling animes.
Nice.
Both excellent. Especially Frieren, man. Oh my God, that show's so freaking good. Um, oh, I went to go see Civil War at
How was
at
that?
the movies.
how
Us up?
was that?
So okay, that shit was crazy. Especially the ending, because like, there's a line that somebody says. I I don't run. Yeah, like, fuck it. I'll say the line. Uh, okay, the line was, what are you gonna do if I die? Like, what are you gonna do? Because like, obviously, this is about like photographers and like press and all that in a Civil War setting of America. Like, if this were to happen like today and all that, but like somebody says that line, and then like the ending of the movie happens, and it's like, oh shit, that is powerful shit right there. Like, and hopefully, if you're squeamish, if you're not a gore person, I do not recommend seeing this because there are a few scenes that are very graphic. Even for somebody like me, I can handle some gore, but like there was a couple of spots where I was just like, okay, let me just look away for like maybe 2 seconds. All right, now back to the movie. But man, oh dude, there was this one scene with I don't know how to really describe it, but just it 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 really just kind of like it gave me goosebumps the whole time, and like I just felt just so nervous and so anxious throughout the whole time. I'm like, you guys need to get out of there. Like, why are you guys even entertaining this? This is silly. Which brings me to another part. It is kind of silly watching like these press people in a war setting. Like, I, I I never really like looked up like, oh, how these interviewers or like these newscasters, whenever they're on like the battlefield or whatever, or like trying to interview, or well, not necessarily interview, but just like trying to get the shot or whatever. Like, I'm wondering if that's how it is, like how it was interpreted in this movie, because it was just kind of silly in a way, where like you would have like a group of army people, like the squad or whatever, and like three of them would be like right into the action, like engaged in the action, and then like the fourth person would be the one that was always like basically babysitting the press, like pushing them like towards the wall or like telling them, hey, you know, stay with me and don't do anything else besides staying with me and doing what I do. So I would like to see if that's actually a thing, but I do recommend this movie. It was pretty damn good.
I do want to
man,
watch
that
it
ending.
just because of the
Mhm.
idea of how was it back in the day. You know, knowing all of the pictures we caught or the
Mhm.
videos back in the day of the press or the media has to be in the slums of war or in the slums of whatever chaos is happening, and those pictures that they have to catch just to hold the moments or hold the moments of our history. I've always found that very fascinating because those people are also putting their lives on the line just to catch, just for us to know in the future of what was those moments that has happened. So I
Mhm.
I really want to watch Civil War. It sucks I don't have the time to watch in theater. Hopefully to watch it in streaming whenever it happens in the future because I'll support it because I definitely want to check it out.
Yeah. And then a couple other movies I saw. I saw new Ghostbusters movie, which is it was fun. You know,
I forgot that
live
came out.
action. I honestly I did too until I was just like, you know what, I'm bored. I want to go see a movie. Hey, look, Ghostbusters. That should be fun. And yeah, it was fun.
Interesting choice of a movie.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, I had a good time with it, but no. What movie was really fun was Godzilla X Kong. That
Ooh.
that was so much fun. I love giant kaiju monster movies like that, and just being
No
able to
spoilers.
just. All right, I won't
Yes.
spoil. I won't spoil, but Godzilla pulls off a perfect move, and I popped in the theater like I.
Crash,
It was so glorious.
I think you watched it too, right? You also saw the movie?
No, I never
No?
saw the movie.
I thought you did.
I want, I want,
Do it.
I want to. So, already hearing this,
Yeah.
I'm a little hyped to watch it.
Mhm. Like, I mean, the humans do their bullshittery, whatever, but man, there's just a certain desert fight. That's all
Is
I'm gonna
Millie Bobby
say.
Brown in this one too?
Nope.
No,
Yo,
Thank
she
God.
is not. Yeah,
Thank God.
it's the
No, just a little Asian girl
the
from the
deaf
end of the
girl.
movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they finally got Millie Bobby out of there.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, man,
It's
I
about
don't-
time.
I don't want to
Yeah,
sound like
it
a
is.
hater.
I do.
But
I don't want to sound like a hater, but I couldn't care less.
Sometimes you just gotta miss your wife.
Exactly.
I don't. In this case, I
think
don't miss my wife.
wife.
In this case, I don't miss my wife.
Man.
But Watkins, is there any last things you want to say?
No. Just beyond the movies and the video games. Oh gosh, there's so much wrestling I've been watching. There's
Oh,
so
I get
much.
that.
So much. I'm still coming off the high from Sunday, from Dynasty, from AEW.
I know. I rewatched your review like
If I
maybe
could-
like 18, 20 times.
Dude,
Okay.
From editing.
I've been floating since WrestleMania.
Same.
Dude, same, man.
I'm
And
still waiting for the
if
draft
I could,
for this Friday. I just can't wait
if-
for draft. Oh,
if I could recommend one match from Sunday, it has got to be this Bryan Danielson versus Will Ospreay match.
it could have been 10 minutes
Highly-
shorter, but yes.
God, I heard
Don't
that
listen to
was-
Vash. Don't listen to Vash. It should have been 10 minutes longer. That's how good it was. Like, that was cinema. That was peak. That made me ascend on
Crash,
Sunday.
I do agree
Like,
as well.
I watched
If you want to watch a good, just an hour watching and eating your food, breakfast, lunch, or whatever, just seeing two type of storytelling of fighting pro wrestling is a good fight. I do agree.
just
Hey,
Always work
two,
for it.
Yeah,
You want to see
two
Godzilla versus
artists.
Kong tomorrow?
Do it.
tomorrow is what day?
Wednesday,
Wednesday.
Sure, what time?
7.
Let me know. As long as you come pick me up, we can go.
Bet.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Crash, I know before we move on here to talk about our big news, I was gonna ask you, how was Spy X Family movie? If you want to give you a quick synopsis of like quick short review.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because the Spy X Family movie dropped this past weekend.
The who?
The movie, Spy X Family movie.
I didn't know it came out yet.
Well, perfect that we're about to get a review of it. Not spoiler, of course.
no spoilers. So I went with a couple of friends, and I'm gonna say I love season 1, season 2, and I was really afraid that it was gonna drop. Went from good to great. So it's very funny, a lot of twists, very unexpected stuff that you didn't, you're not gonna see in the other animes. And there's this one specific scene that I'm not gonna spoil, but the animation there is not something you're gonna see in any of the other seasons. So it was really cool to see. Um, I didn't finish the review. I'm still working on it. It's very long. But me personally, I'm giving it an 8.5 out of 10. I highly recommend watching it with friends. I wouldn't watch it alone. If you don't mind watching it alone, cool, do it, But it's more funnier with friends. It's a lot more funny when you watch on a group.
Sold.
Okay.
So
I gotta watch season 1 first.
It could have been shorter. I don't know why it's 2 hours long. It could have been shorter.
2 hours? Damn, for the.
Yeah,
Should've been-
2 hours long.
Should have been 10 minutes longer.
Yeah.
I watched
Should have been
season
2
before I
hours
watched
longer.
season 1.
Double down.
Definitely, if you can't watch in theaters, definitely watch it whenever it comes out. Crunchyroll, don't pirate, but do what you gotta do.
Hey, Crunchyroll's
High
been
seas
good
are
with the
calling.
releases after theater, so it should be coming out maybe by summer, end of summer or fall. So they've been good with release dates after theaters showing. So hopefully by the end of the year it will be on it, or maybe sooner.
There's only, yeah.
Just real quick, want to dip this in here because I just saw it trending on Twitter. Xbox, not sponsored, is currently having a sweepstake for a X-Men 97 branded Xbox Series X console.
I did see it.
And
Son of a biznacho.
and a custom
How do I enter?
you just gotta go retweet it, and a custom Wolverine controller in a package like an old Wolverine action figure.
They
Like,
have
it's in
for
what-
all the characters, by the way.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I'm
What
There's
was that?
collectible thing where each
it's-
controller spells a story.
No.
um
I'm about to send something
That-
in the Weebs of the ring.
that is
Holy
the
shit,
nah.
that was beautiful.
the noise you just made was the same noise I almost made when I saw that controller. It touched the deepest pit of my soul.
I
just
am
saying it's
sorry.
comic.
Another
just-
tangent. Holy crap.
Bro, that is a
I really wish I was a
beautiful.
fan of X-Men.
What was they have for that? 12, 10?
I'm sorry, I just saw the one.
I have a photo of it. So I'm gonna tag it. So it's the Xbox console, and then there's 12 controllers, if I'm not mistaken, with each character from 97, and each controller box has a different comic that spans a whole story that is not in the show, that you can only get exclusively by getting the controller and the console.
That's hard as fuck, but also that's terrible.
That's
Because the amount
God
of money.
awful.
Nobody
Nah.
God
$30 on a
awful.
controller.
I'm with that. I'm with all that.
Nigga, with the
Yeah.
controller being 60, basically like 60 to 70 bucks.
You can't buy the controller. That's the thing.
Oh,
It's
you
only
can't?
with the sweepstakes.
It's sweepstake only.
That's how
Sweepstake
they got you.
only. Yo, the amount of people that's gonna try and win the sweepstake is gonna be insane.
Yo, I don't even like
Give
Xbox.
me.
I'm about to
Give
enter
me.
this
Matter
shit.
of fact,
Gimme.
actually,
Right now.
Who
I
posted
just,
it?
I need it.
I just
Inject
found
it.
all of them. That
there you
Magneto controller,
there you go.
Ooh, it's beautiful.
the purple and red.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
Follow and
Oh,
retweet.
hey.
Yeah.
Hey, that shit looks amazing. But you know what? That actually gives a beautiful segue for our otaku big news and Buzz Central for the pulse of all of our Anime Leader podcast. Get ready to dive into the latest buzz, hottest news, and our spirited opinions of everything entertainment. So, I gotta say, Xbox, great sweepstake. Marvel definitely had a great deal contract of this, because that's fucking amazing. Good luck for anybody that wins, and go fuck yourself for anybody that wins, because I want that for myself.
Hey, Marvel been snapping with these collabs lately, man. I'm not
They
gonna
have,
hold
Right.
you.
They have. So, you know what? Since it's a Marvel talk, let's just talk about it. The Deadpool and Wolverine trailer.
Let's fucking go.
One thing I'm mad about is that I reacted to the trailer, and I should have trusted my gut when I saw the Ant-Man figure fucking head that's what it was, I was questioning like, does that look like Ant-Man? I couldn't tell, and I doubted myself. I was like, fuck, that cannot be Ant-Man, and it was. That's a skull of Ant-Man, and like, it sure looks amazing. The sleeveless Wolverine, the fucking the other characters of the previous X-Men right in front of the Ant-Man head.
Bro,
Azrael
Azrael
was there. Fuck.
Bro, I was like, or is it an Azrael or Azazel? I can't fucking remember.
I
the
call
red
him
guy from
Azrael.
First Class.
Yes, him.
I thought Azazel was the demon from Tekken.
Bro, I
It
don't
could be that
fucking
too.
know.
But Crash,
Azalea.
I want to ask first you. What do you think of this trailer?
You asked
I did
first?
see
Oh.
it. Still need to glance over some of the Easter eggs because they missed a couple of it. But overall, I am the moment it releases for tickets, I am trying to cop first good seats to watch it
absolutely.
day one.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I am excited for Cassandra Nova. A lot of people that are nerds of mine, or friends nerds of mine, are not familiar with her, which I was very surprised given that they read more X-Men comics than me. So I'm very curious to see how they're gonna portray her.
Baby!
That's what I'm saying. But
I'm hoping.
I'm very, yeah. I'm curious to see where they're gonna take this character's direction for the cinematic universe.
It's gonna be interesting what we lead off to this, because them saying that this is the Wolverine that has given up on his universe, that he failed. I'm really interested to see where he messed up. Was it the Magneto? Was it the Sentinels? Was it the Phoenix? Like, what is it in his universe that really got him to fail or look like he gave up?
You know what that trailer really made click for me in my brain? The biggest complaints we've been getting with Marvel lately, since Phase 4 started, was everything is kind of lackluster and doesn't live up to expectations that people have.
Yeah.
And I'm noticing that the reason for that is, if you go back and look at every Marvel movie that came out beforehand, almost every Marvel movie came out, they were based on pre-existing storylines where you knew going in, these were popular storylines. Like Iron Man 2 was Demon in a Bottle, the original Iron Man, Captain America. This is stuff you know. Like, even up to Infinity War, you pretty much knew, like, this is how this is going to go. The heroes are going to win in the end. Everybody's going to come back. There was nothing that was, like, overly surprising about anything, other than maybe, like, oh my god, Thanos won, you know? But you knew it was a part 2, so even then, it was, like, less surprising than it should have been, you know?
Yeah.
But with Phase 4 and so on, and I'm especially realizing that with the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer, these aren't based on pre-existing comic storylines all the way through. Like, yeah, you'll get, like, She-Hulk was like, hey, this is how she gets her powers, and going from there. And it really wasn't anything, like, streamlined. It was supposed to be episodic, obviously. Yeah. But then you got, like, the Marvels, which isn't really based on anything super specific. It's just following after what Captain Marvel set up, but also the stuff that WandaVision set up, which wasn't comic book based. It was roughly House of M, but not really. And I think the biggest issue is we don't know what's going to happen with these stories because they're not pre-existing stories. So we go into it expecting what we're used to, and we don't get it, and we're like, well, that wasn't very good. It wasn't very good because it wasn't what you were looking for. You came looking for more of what you already were comfortable with, and when you push people outside of their comfortability, they tend to buck back. And that's not saying that a lot of the decisions they made, like Ant-Man, Quantumania, wasn't great, but I didn't think it was terrible either. I just think it wasn't what people were.
I feel like what
we're
they're
planning for, you know?
I feel like what they should be succeeding in it is what you said, of like mix and match what the comic stories is, but what you're telling within the MCU. Don't just try to comic adapt like what they did with the failed storyline of Quantumania and other ones, where a lot of people was, Eternals. I like Eternals. I'm one of the people that
you're crazy.
I like Eternals from what people like. I give Eternals like a solid 7 to maybe 7.5. I was entertained. The characters are accurate from what the comics are. It's just that it could have been better as a movie, yes, but story-wise, it was accurate.
Yeah, but who the
It
fuck
needs to
knows
be
anything?
4 points down.
That was
Like-
too generous. That was
but
too
like-
generous. I agree.
But like, who the fuck knows anything about the Eternals going into it? You know,
Nobody.
So
But nobody
going to
cared
that
for it
movie,
already. They hated it already.
You went to that movie going, I don't know what this is, but I know it's Marvel, so it's gonna be good. And then you sat there and you got a romance movie. You were like, what the fuck? It's because
Eternals was a romance movie.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait, what?
in the grand scheme of things, Eternals is basically a love story. If we're keeping it a bean.
See, I just thought it was boring as fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
20% of the audience-
like that's the thing.
Hold
It's
on.
like, okay,
Angela
you can
Jolie,
go,
and
you
I
can
thought that
go
was
in being
crazy.
like, okay, have some sort of preconceived notion, but like, I sat in there, watched a movie, and was just like, wow,
Eternals
I'm
is
bored.
Eternals is the Notebook for superhero fans, and
Yes.
superhero fans don't like the Notebook. So, you know, that's that. But like,
I'm just
so
gonna sit in my
Well,
weird
Crash,
corner
Yeah.
again.
I didn't hear you. Can you repeat that? What you said?
You know, I was saying that I read an article after the movie came out that 20% of people who actually want to watch it because Angela Jolie was on it. And I said that's so crazy. Like just one actress to watch that, not because it's a superhero movie.
Jolie.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I said too. I said I couldn't believe it. I looked it up. Turns out it was true. A lot
Most
of people were
Mar-
like a lot of most people want to watch
most Marvel
it.
fans are like between 30 and 45, and
Yeah.
all of them grew up craving Angelina Jolie. So if you say Angelina Jolie, they will come. Like that's Laura Croft. I'm good. I know what I said. When you say Laura Croft, I'm gonna be there. You know, that's kind of how the reaction.
I
is.
used to have a crush on Angelina Jolie as a kid, so
You
it
know,
makes sense. I was one of them.
exactly.
But did I go
Look.
see Eternals for her? No, I saw Eternals for as a
No.
comic book nerd and as a Marvel fan and an MCU fan. That's why I wanted to see it. I like it. It delivered for what it was. Do I understand why other fans like Crash and other people didn't like it? Yes, I understand its flaws. I understand. Do I disagree that people say it's the worst MCU film? No. Thor: The Dark World, Thor: Love and Thunder. There's a few other ones that are worse ones. So it's hard to believe when people say Eternals is the worst. I'm like, yeah, I'm bugging. As
So-
a movie, it's great. As an MCU film, I understand what people see as a bad film. As a movie, it succeeded for what it was. Introducing these new characters could have been better with the comic lore and what the storytelling was. Yes, but no movie could be perfect.
I'm gonna stand 10 toes down on this. I sat through Thor: The Dark World 4 times when I worked at the movie theater. Thor: Love and Thunder is nowhere nearly as bad as that movie.
I agree. Thor: The
I
Dark
laughed.
World.
I laughed at least 4 times.
I've
during Thor: Love
never,
and Thunder.
I have never
Dark World.
You're
finished Thor:
never
The Dark
going
World.
to because it's not a good movie.
I have fell asleep every single time that I've
This-
tried to watch it.
This is coming from somebody whose favorite Iron Man movie is Iron Man 2. And nobody likes Iron Man 2.
I'm okay with it.
I like Iron Man too.
Nobody's favorite Iron Man movie is Iron Man 2. Nobody's
agree.
favorite Avengers movie
yeah,
is
there you go.
Age of Ultron. I am the biggest fucking Age of Ultron fanatic. I'll put that movie on right now and let it play all day long. I did the same thing with Ant-Man and the Wasp. These Phase 5 movies are not this bad. I watched
Yes.
Thor: The Dark World, damn it.
Oh, you are not wrong. I mean, my wife skipped Thor: The Dark World because I didn't want to watch it, and she said, "If you don't like it, I'm good." She trusts my opinion that much to be like, "All right, cool. If you think it's not worth it, we're moving on." I still have not gone to Phase 4 with her because of just Thor: Love and Thunder and a few other things, but I agree.
That
Dark
movie
World's
was a
trash.
good nap.
Watch X-Men Dark Phoenix. Don't you dare try to tell me anything in Phase 5 is the worst superhero movie you've ever seen, god damn it. I watched them make the X-Men fight in
New
street
Mutant.
clothes on a train against aliens in street clothes.
New Mutants is trash too, and I hate it when mutants should not. Fox. Oh, fuck you, Fox. Oh, nope. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, fuck
Justice
Fox.
League.
New Mutants was
Damn.
okay. Like, it was alright, but the final, literally the final battle of the Dark Phoenix movie, everybody was dressed like a fucking Aeropostale model.
Yeah.
They were in there dressed like fucking American outfit or Urban Outfitters.
Yeah, Apocalypse. Yeah,
Not Apocalypse. Apocalypse is okay. They were
crazy.
wearing suits in that.
Yeah, they were.
In Dark Phoenix, they were in fucking
I skipped Dark
jackets
Phoenix. I
and
skipped Dark Phoenix, so I
Me
have no
too.
comments
Yeah, I
on that.
didn't see that.
good.
I know
I
of
didn't
it.
know
I
it.
skipped
had
New
no
Mutants and
interest
Dark
in
Phoenix.
seeing it. Yep,
I had to
same
see
here.
it through because it was supposed to be the end of the X-Men as we knew it in that universe,
Yeah.
and it should have fucking ended with Logan.
I've never
With
been
that
an
beautiful
X-Men fan,
transition,
so I just didn't know.
What are you talking about? It did end with Logan.
yeah, with Deadpool, he killed the Fox universe, right? We saw the X-Men Fox logo there. How did everyone feel about any last remaining thoughts for the Deadpool Wolverine trailer?
They
Look,
took his sleeves off.
I'm happy.
Yep.
Man looks nice.
If Vanessa and Deadpool are not going out, I'm walking out that theater. If I find out they're not together no more, it's over for me. They have to be one and done.
Oh.
They
Well,
have to be one and done.
congrats you walking out in the first 5 minutes because I guarantee you she's not going to be in that movie past the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, we're not. I feel like the one thing I love about the trailer is the ending. The Snow White, cocaine. Kevin Feige said that this is not allowed. He's the one thing he said we
Man.
cannot have the perico.
Look, we're getting the Deadpool core and we're getting Wolverines. So I'm sold. We're getting Henry Cavill as Wolverine.
Yes, I heard the rumor. I hope it's true. Henry
I'm gonna go
Cavill
ahead
as
and
a
let-
version of it.
I'm gonna go ahead and swing back and let you know. You remember in the first trailer where we saw the Wolverine in the white suit sitting at the poker table? We
Yeah.
just saw him from the back. That's Henry Cavill. I'm telling you now. Henry Cavill is playing Patch Wolverine. I'm calling it now. I will put money on it.
I'm okay with that. I'm excited for that.
Oh, I'm okay with it too. Yeah, no, like he's probably not going to be in there for that long, but I'm telling you, like when I saw that, when they said Henry Cavill's in it, I looked at that and I was like, that is 110% Henry Cavill. So yeah, like I'm sold, but
We're being sold. How do everyone feel about the Transformers 1 trailer? It's being released in September 20 of this year, and the additional news that there is going to be a Transformers crossover with G.I. Joe.
I've been waiting for that crossover since
Yeah.
Rise of the Beast.
Same here. Same here. Ever
I saw Rise
since
of the
that,
Beast.
ever since that first GI Joe movie,
Yes.
I've been like,
Nah.
nah, I need it.
Yeah.
I need it. I need it.
When that post credit scene dropped and he was like, "You should work for us," and handed him a card and it said G.I. Joe. Boy, me
Yes.
and Paul walked up. Me and Paul started
Hell yeah.
screaming in the theaters.
I actually been meaning to watch the G.I. Joe movies. I haven't. I think I only saw half of one.
Just go watch Snake
What was the
Eyes.
last
The
one,
other two aren't.
Retaliation?
No, Snake Eyes. Go watch Snake Eyes. It came out like 3 years ago. That one was
Yeah.
good. The other ones don't matter.
I like the first one. I don't like the second one when Rock took over like 20 minutes in the movie. He literally became the
mean-
main character. It's like, my
You mean
God.
like he does in every fucking franchise
I
he's
hate
in?
that so much. It's like, oh my God, like how do you just kill off the main character in the first one? He was Joe, like he was the guy where we actually felt like he was the one from the comics, and then
The
you
power
just,
balance of the G.I.
Not
Joe
anymore.
universe is about to change.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, Rock, you and your damn
Shazam.
ego, stop it, stop your fucking ego. I was so happy with the first
But
one.
he's the final boss.
listen.
Haven't you understood?
He cannot be the
anything
final
about
boss in
past-
every franchise.
the past 4 months.
All in the
He is
ball.
the final boss.
I need him to stop changing the hierarchy of universes.
Same.
It doesn't work.
If
Nah,
I see
it
him,
ain't, it ain't.
if
it
he
ain't in
comes
the
back
mold.
as a G.I. Joe in a Transformers cover, I'm gonna be mad. Like,
I
yo,
hope Optimus runs his ass over.
yes. Like, I'm sorry, little guy.
Here's the thing.
I'm actually kill you.
Here's the thing: if Optimus does try to run him over, he's gonna do what The Rock does in every movie. He's gonna be hanging out of a car and stiff arm Optimus, just that scream. he
Somehow with
always
those big
does.
ass pecs, and like, I
This
gotta believe in the
nigga
haka.
He stiff armed a torpedo. Like,
Could you imagine Dwayne The Rock Johnson? And yes, his name. I gotta say the full name every time.
oh,
You imagine Dwayne The Rock Johnson hitting a people's elbow on a fucking Decepticon.
You know what? Give it to me. Give it
yeah,
to me.
I need that. I ain't
Like,
gonna hold you. I need
I
that.
mean, inject it into my veins. Just,
Y'all remember that
That's-
little robot
that's
that
what
attacked
painful. That's
Sam
what
in the
painful.
first Transformers
Bro.
movie? Y'all remember that that small robot that attacked Sam when he went to college? I need him
yeah.
to fight The Rock, and The Rock to just
Nah, bro. just imagine Megatron giving his long ass speech and The Rock just going, "Shut up, bitch."
Nobody cares what you're saying.
I would have to leave the fucking theater.
I would
And
hope so.
just for kicks, just for kicks, because it's The Rock, and Tyrese was in fucking Transformers. Please put Tyrese in there.
Oh, I will hope so.
Oh,
He fits perfectly in the first three
great.
films of the first
Just
films.
Just
Make him have a balled off.
bro, that's what happened in the fucking Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah.
They just bullied.
Wait,
he just
what?
bullied. Yes, there's
did?
a scene.
Yeah.
There's a scene where The Rock walks up and Tyrese goes,
That's
"Better
it.
hide your baby oil."
Yeah, hide
and
your
The Rock
baby
goes,
oil.
"Better hide that big ass forehead."
I remember that.
Give me that with robots and super secret agents. Oh my
Yes,
god,
please.
I would
And we'll be set.
implode.
We'll be set.
Bro, it's like movies are just like slowly devolving into nonsense, and I'm here for it.
Good. Yeah.
Despite everything, I'm totally here for it. Give me all the batshit crazy stuff in the world. I want us to return to the form we had back when, fucking what was it? It was either Batman and Robin or Batman Forever, whichever one where Arnold Schwarzenegger went the Ice Age. Give me that back.
Oh, Batman and Robin.
Give me
Yes,
that
Batman and Robin.
bullshit. Give me that bullshit area.
Ass.
That bullshit era.
You.
Yes, that bullshit era of just campy ass. What the fuckery that cinema used to be. I need it back so badly. And if this is how we get it, because Deadpool and Wolverine looks like a good step forward. A Transformers crossover sounds like a good step forward.
And
What the
Transformers
fuck
1?
Transformers 1 looks like a good step forward. I know we're going to get to that in a moment, but the Sonic shit they're doing is a great step forward. We might end up getting a Nintendo Cinematic Universe sooner or later.
I said this
With
for
the fucking
years, and
Mario
I
movie.
hope it for
Need
it.
it. I need it.
Super Smash
me-
Bros. Movie, it's
Bro,
over. That's
Give me
it.
a look.
Please.
Hey, I'm gonna be real with you. Y'all might. I know the Smash Brothers fan in here might disagree with me. I'll take a Subspace Emissary movie.
No, Nick, what?
Absolutely. Give me
I don't mind
Subspace
it.
Emissary.
I love Subspace. I just hate the
Yeah.
Great Maze. I love Subspace Emissary.
Okay, but Subspace. Yeah, give me the Subspace Emissary
I don't-
movie. I'll play them. I'll watch the fuck out of that.
I think
I
I've been
would
saying this
love
since anime podcast, like episode 40 or 50 or in the early. It's like I've been hoping for a Nintendo Smash Bros. Universe crossover is meant to happen. What happened? Because we already have the setups. We have Detective Pikachu. We have the Mario and Luigi movie already. We have the setups. Just need to find out the right mesh of storytelling for it and how to do, and how to lead up to it.
Give me
Just-
that damn
Somebody
Donkey
disagree
Kong
with me
movie.
because I brought it up the other day. I want a Metroid Prime movie.
yes.
Yeah,
I want a
agree.
Metroid Prime
100.
movie.
I think we'd have to have a. I think we'd have to have a Metro. We would have.
If I do not see her in a swimsuit, it's not worth watching.
We would have to have-
the Empress with that.
We would have to have a Metroid movie before we could ever have a Metroid Prime. movie.
Agreed. We have a
Okay.
prequel for it.
Okay.
I mean,
You're like,
I don't
keep
see
say-
anything
you
wrong
keep
with that.
saying things that I
Inject
want.
it in my
No.
veins.
Yeah.
I'm just
Like-
saying, like,
where's the money?
I think that the Metroid games are better than the Metroid Prime games in my opinion, story wise. So I would rather have a Metroid movie over a Metroid Prime movie any day. I watch a fucking Punch Out movie if you set it up right, like for real. Like if you made a Punch Out movie in the same kind of style as Creed and Rocky, it would sell.
Yo,
It
that
would-
would hit. That
I'm
would
telling
hit,
you,
man.
I am
Yes.
telling
Put
you.
Mike in it.
Yes.
Put
Mike
Mike in it.
Mike Tyson is literally in Punch Out. I'm telling
me-
you, if
Nah,
Mike
Give me a
Tyson,
serious Glass Joe. Give me a
Give-
serious Glass Joe. Come on.
give Mike Tyson a cameo in the Punch Out movie, oh my fucking
Yeah.
god.
It's over.
Look,
Make
all
Mike,
I ask,
make Mike Doc.
all I
No.
ask is that the Zelda movie is animated. That's all I want. That's
It's
all I
not-
care about.
They've
It's not
already
gonna
done
be.
this live
I
action.
want it to.
Yeah, this continues to say
No,
live action.
Fuck live action.
Yeah.
Don't worry. We
Who
have one
would
last.
even
We have one
play
last new
Link?
segment for
It would be a
live
good
action.
Link live action
It's-
right now.
It's gonna be Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah.
Run me a picture of that. I don't know who
That's
that
the
is.
guy that plays.
Okay.
That's the guy that is played for
Listen,
Dune.
Listen al Gaib.
Yeah.
Yes, Wonka.
No way.
It's
You're lying.
Wonka. No, it's not confirmed, but they're probably either gonna pick him or Tom Holland. Like we already know this.
Zelda gonna be
Oh, Tom Holland.
what's that girl's name? She's in
Anya
Mad Max
Taylor
right now.
Joy
Yes, her. I guess she could be fine with. I can live
Timothy,
with
what's
that.
his name?
or Sydney Sweeney.
I don't mind Sydney Sweeney. She's beautiful.
Oh, that's how you spell Shyamalan. Okay, I'm stupid.
Chalamet.
Yeah,
I'm
that.
gonna say after that, I don't know if I can trust her in a lot of more. Or not.
Just
Okay.
let Jack.
You cannot
just let
blame her
Jack-
for what happened with Madam Web. Lana Webb is none of the actresses' fault.
No,
That's
no,
all,
no, no. I don't.
That's,
I
that's
don't
all the
think,
studio.
If anything,
I
Performance
can't.
was the only reason why I stayed in the movie theater. I was so tied to Isabel because that was my favorite actress of all time. You know, she's Peruvian. I'm Peruvian. I was like, yes, she's gonna make a fire.
Mhm.
I saw that shit. I was like, bro, I want to throw my phone at the fucking screen. I was pissed off beyond belief.
Hey,
My girlfriend.
I'm
can
so
it not be Timothy Chalamet?
I'm so sorry. I'm so
No.
sorry for what I'm about to say, but if they make a Zelda movie, I really want them to get Dave Bautista to play Ganondorf.
Yes.
Yo, wait,
Yes.
wait, hold on.
Yes.
Hold
Dave
on, that might
Bautista
actually
could
hit.
actually hit. Him playing that would be perfect.
Wait, that might actually hit. Wait.
Yeah, I would watch the fuck out of it.
I think there was a news article a couple of weeks ago with Dave Bautista rumor for the One Piece live action as well. I heard or something like that.
You what?
I think Dave Bautista was rumored for some live action, like for One Piece or some show. I forgot what it was recently, but
I know he's supposed to be in the Gears movie or show whenever they make it.
it's probably
Yeah.
that one or the Avatar
he's
the Last
supposed, he's
Airbender or
supposed to be
something.
Marcus. In
He is going to be in the Avatar movie. That's what it was. It was
Yeah.
Avatar. He's going to be in the
Oh, gotcha.
he's going to voice the bad guy in the new Avatar movie that's coming out in a couple years.
Yes, I recall seeing that. That's what
I'm
I was
okay,
thinking about.
I'm okay with that. I think Dave
Like,
Bautista's
came out not too long ago.
yeah, it did.
Oh,
But
okay.
they're making an animated movie in 2025.
Correct. No, I think it
or
got
like-
pushed
or
for
like-
2026 now.
Okay, but it's gonna be like young adult Aang.
Yeah, it's gonna be on Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
It's called Aang. It's called Aang the Last Airbender.
Oh,
My
nice.
name's Aang.
But shut up. But I also I don't like Timothy Chalamet's face. Can he please not be Link? I don't like this nigga's chin, bro. It bothers me.
somebody's chin.
It bothers.
Very easily.
Give me 2 seconds.
He does have a very strong jawline, so I understand.
I do get that. I do get that. He does have a strong jawline from the small interviews I've seen of his, so that I get. But Transformers 1. Anybody excited for that? Trailer thoughts. Chris Hemsworth, I think, did a great job for Orion Pax. For D16, aka Megatron, I was a bit first skeptical for Brian Terry Henry, but then by the end, I'm really curious to see how he turns from from D16 to Megatron. Bumblebee fucking slaps. Like he always is the comedy of the team, and I love that. I believe he's being played by Keegan Michael Key. So for me, I feel like that works. I'm excited
Who's
for it.
playing? Wait, who is Keegan Michael Key playing?
Bumblebee.
It's Bumblebee.
Really? I did not realize that was him.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm down with that.
Yeah.
He's a really good voice actor. He played Toad in the Mario movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
So, Crash, any first thoughts about the Transformers 1 trailer?
I'm not too familiar with the origins of Transformers, surprisingly. So I'm a little skeptical as to whether I should watch this first and then watch like other shows, read up on it, or just read up on that first and then watch the movie.
Watch the movie last. The movie's a good retrospective type deal. It's good to go, well, I wonder what it was like before this, and then you watch the movie, you know? But I definitely go watch the other Transformers stuff first.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like most Transformers animations. So that's why
Same.
I'm
It's just
excited for it.
sometimes they hurt and miss. But one thing I'm happy about this movie is fuck the humans. I'm happy we're getting a full movie with just actual robot, Autobots, Decepticons, actual storytelling, Prime, and know the lore of Orion and everything else. Like it seems like we're not getting one human in this film, and I'm excited for that. That's what I'm thrilled about, because we're actually gonna see Autobots, Decepticons, like human emotions, but by attributes of what we believe the aliens of them and their creatures could be. So I'm very excited for that. Like that's one thing I'm most excited for is no humans and a pure animated live action film in a way. And I'm excited for that just to see. And Chris Hemsworth, I feel like he's doing a good Prime before he becomes Prime.
I'm very interested to see what happens with Megatron because in the trailer he turns into a car.
Yeah.
Yeah, that threw me
And
off.
Oh.
I didn't like Megatron's
Yeah.
voice, bro. He just sounded like a dude.
Yeah, it doesn't fit well for the Megatron we know, but I think that he is.
But
It
thing
is a
is,
good
he
voice
is
acting
not.
direction.
Thing is, he is not Megatron. Yes, so I'm really curious to see how do we get that extra deeper
Yeah.
voice. Like, are we gonna see that transition by the end of the film? How he becomes from a car to a plane, or if that is gonna change for him?
He
I
turns from a
do,
dude to an angry dude.
I do genuinely hope that sooner or later, and I thought the second Sonic movie was going to be a step towards this. I really want us to stop casting celebrities for voice acting roles instead of casting voice actors who are experienced in what they do. Like when they were going to cast some random person, like some random celebrity for Tails in the second Sonic movie, everybody was like, if you do, we won't go see this movie, which for some reason bullying the Sonic creators has always worked with these movies. But
Yeah.
when
Only
people
if
were
it can
like,
work with the games.
people were like, if you cast Tom Holland as fucking Tails, we're gonna riot. They were like, cool, we'll just hire the person that was originally playing Tails in the games. And I was like, okay, cool. So I thought that was a step in the right direction, but I don't think we're gonna get there. I think they're
How do
gonna
you feel
keep
about
hiring
Keanu
celebrities.
Reeves being the voice actor for Shadow in Sonic 3?
Keanu Reeves is a voice actor as far as I'm concerned, so he's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Keanu Reeves can do no wrong. That man played a tumbleweed in a SpongeBob movie.
Yeah.
I really want Hayden to be the voice actor. I'm fine with Keanu though. I don't have a problem with him.
Absolutely. In the Sponge on the Run movie, Keanu Reeves played a tumbleweed. In the scene before that, like in the same area, they were in a tavern full of cowboys, and Snoop Dogg played a cowboy. It's not a good movie, but the cameos is crazy.
That's why I'm like, huh. Interesting.
My head hurt, gang. My head hurt, gang.
Any last thoughts for Transformers 1, guys?
No.
What the fuck?
Scarlett Johansson better do a good job. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, is that Scarlett playing RC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
In the words of Marvel, Scarlett Johansson can do no wrong.
Marvel don't think that.
And plus also, John Hamm
Yeah.
as Sentinel Prime, to me, is fucking amazing.
John Hamm's a great voice actor.
It's a great voice. That's why I'm like, yes, please. Like,
He is.
once I heard it, I went online, I'm like, that has to be John Hamm. And then it was, I'm like, yes, his voice just has that nice presence. It just goes so well.
I would watch a Power Rangers movie animated in the same kind of style as Transformers 1, honestly.
Ooh, yes.
Maybe watch Go Loser Ranger, I believe.
Yes.
I'm watching
Go watch it.
fuck out of that show.
Good. It's so good, dude.
I do
Oh
think-
my
I
god.
haven't watched it, but I've seen clips, so I just am
Haven't
recommending to
tried it.
anybody that
Dude,
to go watch it.
I do think Bryan
I
Cranston.
caught up to the manga last week. Dude, the places this series goes.
I do think that Bryan Cranston needs to be a consistent member of all things Power Rangers from this point forward,
Agreed.
because his Zordon was fucking amazing, and I think that
It was.
because the way they ended Power Rangers' latest season is like one of those things where it's like, yeah, they could probably reboot the entire series here. It was like, I don't know if anybody's planning to watch fucking Power Rangers, but Zordon is back. He's alive again after 20-something years.
Wow.
They finally killed Zed for good, and like, they tied up every single loose end. Like, Billy from like the original Blue Ranger was a main character in the last season of Power Rangers.
Yes, I saw that. I
So-
still haven't planned to
Okay.
see it, but it's been on my list.
Yeah, they
Which
could
Power Rangers is this again?
Cosmic Fury, I think, but
Yeah.
Okay.
they could quite literally like reboot the series from here. Like Zordon came back from the Rangers grid. They've got this new thing now where Rangers can die and turn into Ranger Angels and shit. Like one of the characters literally dies. One of the Red Rangers dies.
Well, Spirit Rangers has been a thing since like Jungle Fury.
This is different.
No, this is different because before they were inspired and following of the Sentai from Japan. Now they're past that. Now they could change up any lore they want and improve on it, so that it can actually lead up to what they want to continue adding.
Yeah, when I say Spirit Rangers, I don't mean like channeling a spirit. I mean like ghosts, like Force ghosts.
Yeah, like this is all new. Like
Mhm.
what
Yeah,
happened, customer?
like-
even though I haven't seen it, but I have seen clips and seen some YouTube videos of it, and this is all new information from the new Power Rangers lore. Like from here on forward, they are all free realms of any Power Rangers colors, lore, who's the main character. It could be a Pink Ranger now if they want.
I'm pretty sure we had an Orange Ranger in this last season, which is cool as fuck. They got a new
We haven't
comic.
had one of those since SPD.
They've got a comic
I love
out
SPD,
now.
man. Shit.
They've got a comic out now, which I think is really good. It's about Tommy and Kimberly's daughter.
What?
And I read the first issue. It's really good. They can make a show out of that if they want to. Because in the beginning of the comic, to save the world, Tommy has to sacrifice himself and dies on the moon.
The
Damn,
comics are
Tommy.
insane,
Oh,
bro.
they're
Tommy-
insane. Yo, the
Tom-
Ranger comics are wild.
That would act like he has to blow up the moon and himself to save the world, and that would absolutely be a fitting tribute for Tommy, since I think Tommy might be dead in the Power Ranger universe now because of Once and Always, or he might just not have shown up. I don't remember.
I don't know. I haven't kept up with the Power Rangers comics since
No. I'm talking about the reunion special that came out like a year ago on Netflix. I don't know if he was dead in that or not. I know that the Yellow Ranger was, because she's been gone for a couple decades now. But
I think they left it unanswered since he didn't agree to show up for the reunion because he was filming his White Ranger movie.
It was before he passed when that came out. That's right. So yeah, it's very possible that they could do that show. Like, I would watch if they did a movie or a show about that comic series. And I think it would be respectful to his legacy to do something like that, you know? Because it's like her mom doesn't want her to know about like all the Power Ranger stuff, and then she finds like she becomes the Green Ranger essentially.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
interesting.
And then she finds out her dad was the Green Ranger. That type of shit. I love shows like that where it's like, oh my god, my dad was Space Jesus. Like that's
Great.
like, give her the Gohan storyline I need.
I love it
Yeah.
for that.
Finding out their parents were super spies.
I'm
In those
telling you,
storytellings,
dude,
you always have to kind of hide, and it makes sense but the parents do, sooner or later have to find out that, hey, my son or daughter is the next Power Ranger, and I was unaware of it. Like you sooner or later have to find out for it.
Yeah.
But since we have an hour or less of the show, I want to move along. With Knuckles, it's premiering this Friday. Anybody excited for the Knuckles? And like Crash brought up earlier, the voice of John Wick. The voice of Shadow is voiced by Keanu Reeves, who also does John Wick and Neo. That's what I meant to say. How are we feeling about that? Any excitement? Any quick thoughts that anybody's excited for the 6 episodes dropping on one day? And like we saw earlier in the episode names, that we're having a musical episode on episode 4.
I get to hear Idris Elba sing. Let's fucking go.
I have high expectations for the musical episode, so bring it on, Knuckles.
Inject all of it into my veins.
I'm happy that Keanu Reeves is playing Shadow because I feel like it will work for what we have seen Shadow over the years. It makes me more excited to see if we ever get to see Silver as well on the big screen. It will be fucking amazing if we ever get to see Silver.
Keep that bum away from me.
Silver's a fraud.
He could be a fraud all he wants. I just love his design and I love his power, so that's all I'm gonna say. For Knuckles, inject in my veins, I'm excited to see Idris Elba continue his role, and I'm happy we're gonna see this 6-episode binge watch drop. I'm not sure if they're full 60-minute or if they're gonna be like the usual 30 to 45 minute per episode. They might, or since it's a live action with Knuckles, it might be a short 22 minutes, which if it does, that sucks. But I hope it's like a 30-minute to 40-minute per episode. But I'm excited overall. Crash, how about you? Are you excited for Knuckles?
I am, but I am behind on the movie. I saw the first movie, did not see the second one, unfortunately, so I have to watch that quick before watching Knuckles.
I believe the second one is on Paramount. I believe.
I think so. I think it's still up there.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. This is one of my favorite like versions of Knuckles, like to come out in recent, because it's not like Boom, where in Sonic Boom, if you watch the show, or played the games, Knuckles is an idiot, right?
Mhm.
But he's a lovable idiot.
Yes.
But
He's
it's
also
just
a glitchy idiot.
very much so. But this is one of the first times that we're getting Knuckles like in very recent years, and he's not either mute or just so stupid. And like this Knuckles, yeah, he's like, he doesn't have common sense because tribal dude. I get it, but he still has, like he's not obviously in the head. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so glad that he actually has character. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
And
Crash,
that's why
you
I'm
could
so
watch
excited for it.
Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 on Paramount Plus. I just saw it.
Gotta get the
There
free
you
trial
go.
then.
It's perfect for it. Talking about the last news of tonight is the One Punch Man live action is still in the works, in production, but the script is being rewritten. Does anybody still give a fuck about live action One Punch Man? Just want to
Man,
ask.
keep that shit.
I didn't know it was a
we were
thing.
doing that.
I didn't know it
Yeah,
was a
I
thing.
completely forgot this was
Oh
happening.
yeah, we're still having My Hero Academia live action going on. We still have the One Punch Man. Yeah, these things are still in the works, in production. It hasn't had no updates
Hold on,
yet.
My
of
Hero
ca-
Academia is getting live action?
Oh yeah, that's been announced since like 2019, 2020, I believe. That's still
Who's
in the
gonna
works.
be the bald man?
A lot of people are hoping it's John Cena or The
Yeah.
Rock.
Actually, no, you're right. The Rock, yeah, I do remember hearing something like yeah.
I'm not
now
joking.
Saitama?
back.
Oh, I'm not joking. This is what a lot of people did have joke of about John Cena being the Bohemian from One Punch Man. But
Oh
it's
wait,
memes.
joke. Okay.
Yeah, but memes and joking around. I don't know if
Alright,
that's
never
actual real
mind.
casting. But
Yeah.
does anybody question what is your fan casting? If you could actually have Saitama, if you could ignore the script, ignore the CG. If you could just fan cast Saitama, who would you
Johnny
put?
Sins.
Oh my God, no, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Oh,
I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is.
It was the first bald man to come to my mind.
I'm trying to see.
That was the
Jason
first bald
Statham.
person.
No, I did actually search up real quick. Bald-headed actors right now airing, and I'm like, Jason Statham, no. Patrick Stewart, no. There are two, nope. Tyrese, no. Nope.
Hell no, Tyrese.
Tyrese's Saitama would go crazy.
One Punch Man.
oh god.
No.
So realistically, I'd want somebody Japanese to play him, obviously. But there's a guy I can't remember his damn name. He's playing Metamorpho in the new Superman. Anthony Kerrigan, that's his name.
Oh, I see it.
He looks like Saitama.
Yes.
I'll let y'all look him up.
I'm right now getting to him. Where's see?
Oh God, this guy is bald. This guy is. Very
I see it
bald.
though. I see it.
Yeah.
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 Like realistically, I want somebody who's fucking Asian to play him because Saitama's Asian. But
Yes.
knowing that we're probably not going to get that, this will work.
I'm for it.
Yeah,
I'm for it.
because you got to give me somebody who can also do comedy just as well as they can do action.
And for the
Anthony
facial
Kerrigan's
expressions too.
Exactly, and Anthony Kerrigan can do that. He has a very, I mean, if you're playing Metamorpho, obviously you can do the fucking facial expressions and the physical comedy that Saitama can. So yeah, give me him.
So does anybody
But-
have any last comments about the One Piece live action? I mean, One Piece, One Punch Man live action, or we all don't
Keep
give a
it.
fuck? Keep it.
Still keep that shit.
Keep it.
Hard pass.
Yeah.
But
I'd rather watch Black Butler live action than watch that.
Ooh.
Yeah, oof is right.
I think.
Oof.
Who could play Sebastian? Is the main question.
Say what, Paul?
Isn't there a
Who
Black
would play
Butler live action?
Sebastian?
I hope not.
Is there?
Timothy Chalamet.
there is a live action Black Butler. I think already. Did
Call
they
the
was Sebastian?
cops. Call the cops. Call the police.
No shot. You're lying.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Call-
Well, there's
Call
Oh
the
my God.
authorities.
Sorry, I should be more
No
specific.
way.
There's a Japanese version. There's a stage play of the Black Butler, I believe. I'm not sure
Call
if there's
the authorities.
Oh my God, this movie looks awful. It was made in 2014.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
This was
yes.
terrible.
I'd rather watch the Full Metal Alchemist movie on loop.
Oh no.
That one wasn't great
Oh,
either,
no.
but it was okay.
Funny thing, that's how he became a fan of Full Metal Alchemist.
That movie was so bad, I was like, let me go watch this show.
Let me go see what this is based off
14?
of.
That's only 10 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, thanks for making my bones hurt. Goddamn.
Right?
Down for the last time.
I can feel my cholesterol is just
But hey,
lowering right now.
Talking about bones hurting and your face hurting and being beaten up to a pulp and getting killed, and by the end of the season you're
I
missing
ain't
your
say all
wife. Hey, I'm using that.
I miss my wife.
I'm using that transition. We're here for the animation spotlight, Invincible season 2, episode 6 through 8, season finale. And chat to the team and everything. We are gonna break it down. Not episode 6 per episode. We're gonna break it down of the overall arcs. So before we get to it, we're gonna give you a non-spoiler review for anybody that have not finished season 2 yet or have not catch up to it. The non-spoiler review of this season is Mark is going through shit on my end. And I feel bad for this dude because he doesn't catch a break. He gets intrigued by his Richard My People, aka Anissa, on seeing the potential on the next suitor. And Mark just doesn't catch a break on his mental health of deciding what is his choice after making this repercussion decision that he had just because of an impulse. And it makes me curious to see what's the next season 3 as a non-comic book reader, even though I know scenes and stuff that has happened throughout the 20 years of the story, but I don't know it without context. I'm very excited to see the continuation of Mark's journey and Eve, and the continuation of the Guardians of the Globe, of how they could come back after losing some members and some members being incapable of being a hero. So I'm very excited for what season 2 hold. I gave it a solid 8.5 out of 10 for me. It was solid. I will give it slightly better than season 1 in the storytelling with the character progression. That's my non-spoiler review. Anybody want to go next?
I give it a 6.
Oh.
Ooh, I can't wait
bold.
just from that.
Ooh.
Just
Oh
from
yeah.
mine.
Oh, it's a very bold statement. But so near the end of the season, it kind of felt like they were spinning their wheels a little bit.
I see that.
It felt like when they started the season out, they were like, okay, we want to be here by the end, and then they were like, oh, we got here way too quick. Let's stretch the rest of this out. And that's not always a bad thing until you get to the last episode and you shove the entire Angstrom Levy thing into like not even a full episode.
Into like a 30-minute.
Yeah, into like a portion of the episode. And that was a really big thing in the comics. I'm not even super mad about the whole agents, about that one character that wasn't who it should have been. I'm not even super mad about that. So I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not terribly mad about it, but it just was like they rushed parts that shouldn't have been rushed and then fleshed out things that didn't need to be fleshed out. Like, I get it that certain characters need to be built up, but let's be honest, I don't really care what Donald has going on. I don't really care what William, a side character, what his boyfriend has going on. I don't care what a side character has going on. You feel me? Like, I don't need full episode plot lines dedicated to these characters, because in the comics, it was like half a second, you know? We spent more time in one episode with Rick and Donald than we did with fucking Invincible.
Can't wait for us to talk about this after because I have thoughts on what you're saying, and it's intriguing.
I don't know. It's just... And the animation wasn't great this season. I understand the animation is difficult. Crunch and whatnot, and I'm never going to advocate for crunch. But there were times, and even though they lampshaded it, it doesn't make it okay. It's like you could tell there were spots where the animation was completely cheaped out on. or just like phoned in completely, where mouth flaps didn't match and things like that. And it's like, these are amateur mistakes. You are Amazon. Season 1 looked better than this and took less time. Somebody needs to be talked to, you know? So for all those reasons,
I saw that a lot on Adam Eve.
say what?
I agree with you. I saw that a lot on Adam Eve, but not on Invincible for season 2. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I think Adam Eve looked a lot, but what pisses me off the most is the trailer they did for season 2 where Alan and I don't remember his fucking name right now. We're sitting in the diner. Mark, thank you. Yeah, and it was so well animated. And then we got nothing like that. And
not even close.
Like, it's like they kind of were just like shading. What the fuck is shading?
Yeah, I see that.
Usually season 1 is the one that has this stumble. But it wasn't. We're not in season 1 anymore, people, you know? Like, you made us, you gave us that unnecessary break because it wasn't to polish animation or finish scenes or anything. So it's like, what was that for? But I don't know. I still really enjoy the story of Invincible, and they are making changes that I'm okay with. So I'm still gonna stick it out for at least another season, see what we get from here. Because next season is hopefully gonna be one of my favorite parts of the story. We'll see, you know. But for right now, I've got to give it a 6.5.
Overall rating, I think I'd give it like 7.5, 8. Because at some point it did seem like it dragged. Actually, I'm gonna give it an 8 because I really enjoyed the breaking up of Amber and Mark.
Low spoilers, buddy.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say.
My fault. But yeah, that part, since I already said it, yeah, that I enjoyed. I enjoyed a lot of the fights, and you already brought up the Angstrom thing. I didn't think it needed to be that long, so I fully loved the way that was handled. The way a line that was a meme on the internet was actually delivered. I loved it. Yeah, some animation stuff could definitely be fixed, or just definitely was not up to par. But I mostly enjoyed everything that did happen within season 2. A lot of the emotions of season 2, I was vibing with.
So just to give you a frame of reference on that Langstrom thing, because I know you haven't read the comics. In the comics, it's a whole arc.
We could talk about it more once we get into in depth about it. Watkins, any overall thoughts?
I mean, I'm kind of leaning towards the 8 as well, mainly to do with the story. Like, I'm invested enough in the story of Invincible and in Mark, in Omni-Man, and even some of the Guardians too. A couple of them I'm kind of invested in. Eve especially, yes, but like, no, there were some stumbles in this season. I mean, Rome went off on it. I pretty much there are some things I do agree with you on that. It's like, coming from somebody that didn't read the comics, I'm sitting there thinking, okay, did we really need to like stretch all this out? Like, so some of the stuff was good. Like, don't get me wrong. It's like, okay, yeah, this character work you're doing with Donald, it's good. Why? Why are we spending so much time on Donald when, there's other characters like Mark, like Eve, like freaking Amber, especially Amber. Like, if we were going to extend anything, I would have loved to see just a little bit of Amber's day, without Mark around in college, because it's like, yeah, we're hearing all this, we're hearing about her story, about like what she's dealing with, which we'll dive into here soon, but it's like, we're being told this, but man, how good would it have been to just being shown it? Like, I mean, Amazon loves putting their music in their shows and all that, and I'll see the little credits that play, like, go on as it's playing, or whatever it's called, like the I forgot what they call it, but like it'll show like the name of the song and all that stuff, and it's just like, okay, you could have done like a montage of that just for us to like see a little bit more of that, so that way we can connect with Amber. But like that would just be like a simple change that they could have done to like if they needed to extend things. Here's what we could have done, but yeah, like the I think my biggest issue with the season is the fact that like we had an end goal, but we we took way too much time to get to that end goal. And it's like, did this really need to be 8 episodes? Did this need to have its break in between? I really don't think so. Like, they probably could have cut and trimmed a lot down to maybe make a 6 episode season. Maybe. But I don't know, but I mean, again, I'm invested enough in the Invincible story to give it an 8, because there were some really good scenes, like the scene with Omni Man in front of that black hole after that montage. Like
I agree.
I miss my wife.
Which one?
I yeah, which well,
Oh, yeah. Which
I
one?
miss my wives.
I miss the bugs. Oh, but yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll dive more into it and get more in depth here in a little bit.
Crash,
That's what I got.
Remind
right
me,
now.
did you give your non-spoiler thoughts?
I'm gonna piggyback on Rome Watkins. I agree with you guys. I have an overall general what I graded it, but for the sake of just 6 through 8, I will agree. Same thing. I'll say 8. Coming from somebody who has not read the comics at all, I want to read that at a time when I can. Watching just binging the whole thing from season 2, episode 1 until 5, and then watching consistently after weekly. I just felt like I didn't see a problem with the animation. First off, like for between Adam Eve and season 2, both parts, I felt like Adam Eve had worser animation than this one. Mind you, coming between a comic and a TV show with Amazon Prime, I didn't have any expectations, so I'm not the best person to say it's better, it's worse. It's just my opinion. But it's hard to say what I felt about each episode because every character had their own story going through it, and I think going between the show and the comics, I think what Amazon was trying to do is just show us different perspectives of the whole thing. Was it the right direction? I don't know. At the end of the day, like Mark was going through it so hard. Debbie, again, no spoilers, did not deserve to go through all the shit that she went through throughout the entire season, both part 1 and part 2. Omni Man, but he did some bad stuff season 1. Is he planning to do in season 2? Do you see it as redemption? Do you see it as a way to atone? Is it just him trying to find a revelation that hey, am I an alien? Am I more human than what I am? That's what the point of season 2 is with him. Donald, I didn't mind character art for him in season 2 at all. I did not. That quote, which I cannot say unfortunately because that's a big spoiler, that he says to the boyfriend, was probably one of the hardest things I've ever heard personally, just coming from the perspective of someone who has now read the comics. Now, for someone who has read the comics, ain't shit that comic. I mean, the quotes, whatever. But so for me, hearing it first off before reading it in the comics, as a little part, I said that shit went hard. I can see why he said that to him. That's really, it's honestly some deep shit if you just sing it for the first time. The Immortal and Kate, at the same time, like at the very end, ends up happening to these characters was like, oh, okay. Cool. Would I wanted more from them? Sure. But at the end of the day, like, they're just side characters, really. It's just part of, the add-on with Invincible. Robot and Monster Girl, I liked seeing the development of what's going on between them in season 2. It was really nice. I didn't mind it. Rex, my boy Rex, is a full G. What happened to my boy? But my boy went through it, and you know what? He came out top dog. Respect to him. Respect to him. Respect to him. Even though he's a dickhead, respect to him. Amber, well, her. And I hope we're able to see a little bit more of her in season 3. Langstrom, yeah, I will agree with you guys that I have not read the comics, but I have an idea what's going on with it. I've seen bits and pieces here and there. So yeah, would have wanted more from that character overall. I think personally, villain in general, he is probably one of the worst villains I have seen in an animated show. not even my top 5 worst anime. I mean, villains in general. But definitely expected a lot more for him going into season 2. I really had a lot of high expectations for it, and it just didn't really show a lot. And the way that his character was shown in season 2 left a lot of open-ended questions for me that hopefully we can dive into with the next part. And Alan, blow up. See that? Oh boy, clap cheeks. At least I can say that much. But past that, season 3. So I can see her at all in part 2. Expecting to see that scene. If you guys are familiar with the comics, expecting to see that season 2. They didn't show that, so I was very surprised. So I guess we'll see that scene in season 3. But overall, I want to give it more. Going just for 6 to 8, just those season episodes alone on what the show gave us, what we really feel about it. I'll give it an 8. It was good.
So with that being said, let's get on with our spoiler review. Let's talk about with the small cast, like the side cast characters, before we get to our main cast, since that will be more of an in-depth and more of a longer conversation. So let's go with the characters of William, Rick, and Donald, since their story kind of intertwine together, and it's a small story arc in episode 6. It was, I believe. Rome, I want to start with you, since you said that you didn't care too much about it in the animation. Did you care about it in the comic, or do you feel it was a good adaptation for it?
What do you mean?
How was it the story between Rick being in the same shoes with Donald, that being brought back to life, and with Donald kind of realizing that he's been brought back to life 38 times, and telling Rick hey, it really depends how you view your perspective, but for me, I have a cause that I want to save humanity, and I get brought back to a life now. And he said to himself, like, I'm probably 90% more made machine now than before ever.
From the bits and pieces I remember, I don't think, and don't get me wrong, I don't think that they stuck on it nearly as much in the comics. I think they kind of like they definitely didn't do the whole thing where Donald was talking off a ledge. I don't remember that at all. I don't even think they really had a relationship other than like, hey, so you're a robot now, and that was kind of it that I remember. And I think he kind of accepted it a little bit more because they like in the comics he just wasn't really that big of a focus,
And now he was in the animation. To me, it worked. It helped Donald heal and as well understand his current shoes and predicament of how he views his current predicament of being half robot. Now understanding that he's been alive 38 times, being brought back by Cecil, and Cecil telling him that now you have the full clearance of becoming and knowing your truth behind you, and knowing that you've been brought back just many times. Like how did everyone else feel about this? Like I feel like it added more to Donald more than to Rick. I feel like with Rick it helped Donald more than ever, and I love how William was quiet during that 90% of the segment, other than the last 10 minutes of that conversation, and with William adding his 2 cents, like him understand, like, hey, I'm not in your shoes or his shoes, but he has a point with you having another chance in this body, in this mind. Yes, you might have, some PTSD, some drama, sorry, not drama, some trauma of what has happened to you, but you came out of it and you could look forward instead of behind.
See, the whole thing with Rick is he's really just a device to help Donald grow.
Agreed.
Like it's more of Donald to just be more comfortable with what he is and what he's discovered he is. Like, yeah, watching a file, like a huge file of 38 times that you have died, that's kind of messed up, and that's gonna mess somebody up. But like, he kind of understands why, because he knows himself to a point, even though he's not, kind of it's like the ship of Theseus kind of thing. It's like, okay, he's like, is he still the original Donald? Well, I mean, he's kind of missing a spleen from, number 14 and number 21. We don't talk about what happened with the 21st death, like it's just like things like that. It's just like, is he still Donald? Is he not? But he knows, like, through just watching those videos and just kind of coming to terms with himself and like seeing an outsider going, like a civilian going through this as well, is just like, okay, I do know who I am. I'm still Donald. It's just I'm like Donald 3.0 or something like that. It's like I know I'm still me to my core. And I mean, that's really the biggest thing with the whole Rick and Will thing. It's mainly just to help boost Donald a bit, which, I mean, again, is fine.
I think that's also supposed to be reflected in Mark himself.
Mhm.
Kind of a
Yeah.
I'm not who the world and like the people around me. Like I'm not who I was made to be.
Yeah, like
I'm not
the
a
killer of the
weapon.
Richard Mine. I'm not the
Exactly.
weapon. I'm still human.
Mhm.
Just because I
I-
kill Langstream, don't
Yeah.
mean that I am a killer. Like I still have the
Yeah.
morality.
I'm not my dad.
I am who my
You're not
experiences. I am who my experiences and my choices make me.
Yeah.
I am not who I
Mhm.
was made to be. I think it was literally just to be a reflection of Mark.
Yeah.
Because I like, if I remember correctly, I think William shows up, or not William, Rick shows up in the comics maybe like 4 times. He is not a main character by any mark. And I think the whole Donald thing doesn't even get this fleshed out in the comics. Like, he knows he's a robot, but I don't think they have a whole existential crisis.
And that's what I like about this last 3 episodes, because it doesn't feel like a comic book series adaptation. It feels like a human adaptation with stories involving comic book characters. Because I feel like that's what this adaptation is, that we're fleshing out the humanity side of these characters that didn't get to be fleshed out in the comic, that they're being fleshed out, like understanding the humanity and the mental when it comes to being rebuilt 38 times and helping how to help somebody get over their first time being rebuilt because of an accident. So I love that of this season, or this last 4 episodes, that we're seeing the Nolan, we're seeing Mark, we're seeing Donald, we're seeing Rick, we're seeing these characters going through the trauma that they should not go through because of one person action, but it's because they're going through helping each other heal because of other people, giving their experience. Like, hey, I went through what you're going through 37 times already, but this is my 38th so far that I've counted. Know this, that it's not easy, but you still are the person you were.
I'm just excited for more character development for Donald, because I feel like because I'm most likely gonna rewatch the comic story video I did on Invincible, because that's mainly how I know anything from the comics.
Mhm.
But I don't remember it all because terrible memory. But
Right.
I'm just really hoping for the downfall of Cecil, and I'm hoping for Donald to be at the forefront of that.
Same.
I'm hoping for the downfall of Cecil. And I think Donald knowing about his deaths can definitely help towards that. Or push towards that. Even
I
if
like
it
that
was his
idea.
decision or not.
Hey man, same man.
Crash, you got any thoughts about this topic now that we're in the spoiler section? Do you want to add any thoughts?
I mean, it's funny you say that, jokester, because the main thing on my review, I didn't add Cecil at all because I didn't think he made a significant impact out of all the other characters in season 2, both part 1 and 2 at all. Donald made more of a difference than him, and you saying that is making me think, actually you got a point. Actually, I could see that happening if that's the case. Because why was he such influential a person in season 1 but not 2? Like, in season 2, you just see him like, hey, Debbie, you need help? I'm here for you, this and that. But you really seen him try to be this role model in season 1, and it was more of an impact in season 2. Season 2 is more like you push him up, like, I'm Carrie, I'm fine. When Marcus talking to him on the rooftop of the Pentagon, he's like, oh, I'm fine, I don't need you, I'll be okay by myself, and that's it. Like, he's always like, okay, and then next scene. So
It's primarily because everybody sees Cecil primarily, Mark and Debbie are seeing Cecil for being a manipulative dickhead and also just, a government drone. And really, I'm definitely praying on the downfall of Cecil because I understand why he did it, but he kept that nigga Sinclair alive. Ooh.
Hey, when you are a mad genius, you don't. Would you rather keep this mad genius and be useful for you and nobody else, and use that genius at your advantage, than rather kill the genius that can make unbeatable weapons or unbeatable robots or any type of that attribute? You
I'm
gotta make your
sorry.
choices.
Nothing he's
What?
making is gonna be on the level of a Viltrumite. Take him out, Omni-Man style.
I'm sorry. Were you expecting logic and morals from a government agency?
Yeah,
And
man.
that's why I want that. I want Cecil down.
It's bound to happen with the line that Donald said that Cecil, I can't work for you no more. I think that's still gonna come back in the future seasons when Donald realized that he cannot do this no more for the same person, rinse and repeat. So I feel like it's bound to happen in the future.
Exactly. Downfall of Cecil.
But like I
Yeah.
said, the downfall of certain characters, the Guardian of the Galaxy, as an overall conversation with them, because it has become, well, the Guardian of the Galaxy has technically no leader. Technically, they lost a leader, Immortal, because our girl Duplicate, the original one that we believe was dead. But then they actually did a little twist for us, like in the comics, that she is still alive in the end, where Immortal just was the most happiest man alive, seeing his true love girlfriend still alive. And Rudy became once again the leader. Or like Cecil is, hey Cecil, hey Rudy, come here back here. You got your job back. I'm like, bitch, how do you literally give somebody the job back after Immortal literally just walk out? Like, you just couldn't wait a couple seconds. Now he just said, hey, he left, he got fired, he quit. You become the new leader. And Monster Girl finally deciding to actually work on her solution about her power. So, and Rex got shot in the head and has a hobby about magazines, which I thought, like, who's the fuck still read magazines?
So
Man.
I have a thought, because it just occurred to me when you were talking about the Immortal thing with Duplicate. Immortal and Omni-Man low-key had the same feelings out of nowhere in this season. Like, Immortal, obviously he's been alive for damn forever.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of like thinking life of other people is kind of inconsequential to him, because he's still here when they're not. Kind of like Freerin. Everything is like, this is such a short amount of time to him, like an actual human lifespan. So he didn't care. Same as like Omni-Man, everybody else is a pet to him, or just beneath him, so he didn't care. But then his bug wife and her ecosystem dies. So now he's like, why do I care about life? What is going on? Why am I feeling these emotions? I think I miss my wife. And Immortal is going through the same thing, basically, when Duplicate dies. Like,
Because she's technically the only one that could stay alive with it. With Immortal being alive, Duplicate could also be alive as long as with him, because she cannot die as many times, or could die as long as the original stay alive, because of the because family curse. So I fuck with that Immortal got to see the humanity side of him still feeling a true love, because even at the funeral, I think Samson or Caesar or somebody asked him, are you okay? You need to take some time off. And Immortal said, like, it's weird. I have been in love with multiple women in my lifetime, but never have felt this way for somebody else. And it makes sense. Like, Kay is the only one that could actually understand him.
I mean, my take with that is something completely different, and I would honestly want your guys' help to explain it to me, because I have seen that scene about 3 times, and I still don't understand it. So, Kate dies. Invincible is not. I mean, I'm sorry. The Immortal is not the leader anymore. He goes, to his home, somewhere in the mountains, right? He was fishing. He comes back in the house, and Kate's there. So I don't know if it's a plot hole. I tried looking at it so many times. There is no way he was at home if, he just quit, being the leader of the Guardians of the Globe. How would she have known that he was going to be at home? What if he had went somewhere else?
So the odds are is that they had talked about where he would go before. and she had hid that extra her like years ago. She's that extra her had been hiding for years because she said she had a close call once where she almost died. If the original dies, that's it. So the original usually stays away from it, lets the other ones fight. Nobody knew the original was hiding.
Yeah.
So
it's
after the after the
Okay.
funeral,
Yeah.
she was like, I was just gonna leave altogether and just stay dead, but I'm in love with you the same way you're in love with me, and I can't do that to you. So
And
I
it,
got you.
there's no trick there. That's it.
yeah, and like her
Okay,
clone
okay.
or her copy could still have the same memories. So when she
Yeah.
got killed by the scorpion or lizard people, she felt that, and that's when she felt like this is probably her chance to fully be done with the hero business because girl is probably exhausted, being
Yeah.
murdered multiple fucking times. Like I can't imagine how your psyche must be drained to feeling getting killed multiple times.
Because
Yeah.
taking it back to when we first talked about those few episodes, bro, they were making light work of duplicates, clones, bro. Like she was ripping
yeah.
like paper mache.
Hell yeah.
I could never, like, knowing that there are copies of me living through that, and then I know that they lived through that. Oh God, how could I? Oh God, no.
My head canon is every villain that was like just obliterating each of those duplicates. My head canon is they thought, oh, her powers must work just like the shadow clone jutsu, which they just disappear, and it's like no, they actually die.
Yeah,
They're
just
actually
That's
like
blood and guts, my
physical.
friend. That is
Yeah.
It's
blood
like,
and
oh,
guts.
no lie.
I,
That's how I
It's like,
understood
oh,
her power
no.
back, like in season 1. That's what I thought her power was. Like, okay, Shadow Clone, she gets one destroyed, it disappears. Nah, when I see just blood,
it's just
like,
there.
like the whole worms thing's part of our stomach that's just being blown out, and I'm like, oh, that's just real body fluids just flying around. Shit.
Also, question for those that have read the comics. The villain that they were teasing during like the 2 months that Mark was gone.
Oh yeah, like that type of galaxy-looking dude. That's like an example of the guy
like
from Marvel.
whoever the guy that they had fought, that they were just like, oh yeah, we could have used some help. Did they do more with him in the comic or something? Because like they
Are you
kind of
talking about the
show
guy
him.
with the gun?
No,
I
the guy
forgot
that
who it was. It was like
it's like a skeleton. I think he's supposed to be a reference for the villain of Galactus.
yeah,
I do not remember who you're talking about, honestly.
because I think it was like in episode 5 when they were like restarting the season and all that. They showed like the Guardians of the Globe with like all these other heroes.
That was
and all
that was an actual like arc, like not an arc,
Yeah.
but it was a lot bigger than just a no in the comics.
Yeah,
Like that was a big. I think Mark was actually involved in that fight.
Oh really? Dang.
Yeah, if I remember correctly,
Oh, wow.
and he shows up like a couple more times in the comics through like multi-dimensional shit.
Yeah, because I
like,
know.
it's a very like brutal fight in the comics.
Yeah, because I know he was fighting Langstrom and he went inside one of the portals and he met with the guy as well one time.
Yes.
that 8's starting to look like a 7 now. Because
Yeah.
oh, I could have used that. Because like you show that scene and then like the follow up to that is just like, oh, we could have used you. And it's just like, okay, are we gonna like maybe flash back to it again a little
Yeah.
bit? Oh, we're not. We're just gonna keep moving forward with. Oh, okay.
The one
Alright.
thing that I would say,
Alright.
Rex was intriguing. Not to jump to the fight with Langstrom, but
yeah.
the Rex in the body armor of Robot, in the time travel, and with Eve and a few other people, it was interesting to see that Rex was the leader in the body of Robot, and he was the one that said that it took them a couple times to find the correct universe or the correct portal of them being in there. And it was pretty intriguing just to see Rex being the leader and Rex saying that they cannot speak of anything of the space-time community to not mess it up in their timeline. So that was pretty interesting. And for Eve to not give a fuck about that, she said, hey, Mark, I'm in love with you. Hey, go tell the past me of that you did love me, or express how you feel, because I have been aching that for so long and never got to have closure. So that was pretty interesting just to see that break time or space time community that always happens in every fucking damn storyline. Like, hey, I don't give a fuck. I need to tell him, Mark, love me because I know you do, but I know you're going with your shits. But I need you to know that I've always have loved you.
So that first part
That's
that you brought up about about Robot, next season, you'll understand that next season.
Oh.
Copy.
Yeah, everything that happened in that little scene pretty much comes to fruition within. It's going to come to fruition within the next 2 seasons. It's
Okay.
it was always weird to me that they like did that like 40 years in the future, and then in the comics it was like 3 arcs later. So
Really? Damn. The fuck?
yeah, no,
That's a 40 years. Shit, damn.
Obviously they're not 40 in 3 arcs, but what I'm saying, like,
Right.
the main things that they pointed out, like those big like Amber's.
Okay, so
or
like
not
Trunks
Amber.
stuff. So like Trunks, like for
So-
them, they act like in Trunks storyline or Trunks timeline, it happens like 20 years. But for the actual, Saiyan arcs, it happened within the next 6 months. So for us, it could happen within 2 years instead of 40 years because of things changing.
It's not because of the timeline changing. No, what I'm saying is that they said they did these things that make it seem like Mark and Eve wouldn't get together for years and shit. But you see in that episode, they're about to get together obviously they're going to be together in early next season.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not because the timeline changed. It's just because, like, that was going to happen anyway very soon.
But also, Mark wasn't there for 40 years because he was in a whole different...
Well, no. Even without that, what I'm saying is those things would have happened whether Mark disappeared or not without the 40-year span. And it's just kind of weird that they poked at it like that, because it's like, oh, this isn't going to happen for, like, a decade at least. It's like, no, shit, give me, like, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And that's not super spoilery, because obviously you know what's
Right.
going to happen.
Yeah.
The timeline doesn't change like that in Invincible, thank God. But yeah, it's just it was just weird to see them do that, because they do it in the comics too a little bit differently. Because once again, that Angstrom Levy thing it's a while in the comics, like it's a couple issues, and here it's just like he was in the desert for like 5 minutes. It's like he was there long enough for the blood to like dry on his knuckles, and that was it.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was stronger.
Wait, let me ask you, Rome. So, why do you think they didn't put that comic where you just see his head completely bashed in the show?
Where you see
And so in the comics, like you see how like his body is like completely messed up, but in the show you just see his legs and that's it. And I was tight. I really want to see that in the show, and they didn't do that.
it would have been way beyond what they could have put on there, because in the comics you actually see the brain matter on Mark's hands and on his face, and like I don't mean like little like I don't mean like barely see it. I mean you can see visible chunks of brain dripping off of his hands and his face, and like how he only has like some splashes of blood on him in the show, he is completely drenched in blood. Like his entire body is almost solid red in the comic panel. Like it's a lot. So I can understand why they would have done it like that. I think that what they showed was enough. Although the ambiguity of it, if Mark hadn't come out and say, "Oh my God, I killed him," essentially, you would have been like, "Is he dead?" Because when I was watching, I was like, "Did he not kill him this time?" Because my thing with comics is if you don't show it, it didn't happen.
Exactly.
But in this case, he is very much dead. They just couldn't show it because I don't know. A lot of the gorier stuff this season they didn't show, because like in the comics, like he beats the shit out of Debbie. Like it's not just like a broken arm and a black eye. Like he kicks her in the fucking head.
All right, so
in the comics,
so with us being in the topic, let's get straight to it. Langstrom Levy versus Mark. How do we feel about that? I know Rome.
He snapped him with a Fortnite sniper.
I saw that. I didn't expect
Okay,
that.
sorry,
I didn't expect that until I saw. When I first saw that, I was like confused. But then I remember seeing the spoiler from Rome when you posted like they put the Fortnite sniper, I'm like, oh shit, that's pretty cool. But as a non-comic book reader towards this arc and everything, I enjoyed it. Had a good time with the Mark versus Langstrom. I thought it was gonna be longer. I thought it was gonna be like 2 episodes. I thought it was gonna be a full episode. I thought it was gonna be set up more from what Rome and us talking about season 2 previously, and just seeing the timeline of how the arc is so big with Langstrom Levy versus Mark, but to see how it was executed within the ending of episode 7 to see episode 8 being like a whole 25 or less minute of a fight arc. To me, it was not saying underwhelming. I just wanted more as a fan, but as a watcher, it felt like it was more for Mark's mental and how to move forward with this in the Virtual Mario arc story coming next. So I feel like that's what they set this up more, just to see the hero that Mark is meant to become. Kind of felt rushed, and that's why I was very, very disappointed in that aspect.
I think the main reason I like the fight, because so they teased the backstory of Langstrom throughout the entire season, right? Like the amount of marks that he had to fight or that he came across, the amount of times he had to save, the other Langstroms. I think that first of all, I don't think we're done with Langstrom. We might be, but because there are differences from the comics of the show, I don't think we are done with Langstrom yet. But that could just be me being optimistic about it. I'm gonna keep it a bean. I don't know what really Langstrom thought he could do to Mark.
Same, because
so it's like you're doing this essentially for no reason, and you think, oh yeah, as I got more control of my powers or whatever, I'm a little bit stronger. Realistically, what did you think you were doing to the man who has killed worlds, and you've seen him do this? Like, you've seen what he's done to other Earths.
Exactly.
What do you think you could really do?
It felt like a Mission Impossible. Like, what is it can you accomplish? And when Langstrom's told Mark, like, I have done, body modifications to my body to be stronger, to beat you and everything. And then Mark is like, oh, word? So that means I could go full strength. That means I could go full, no holding back. It felt like a Spider-Man moment where he could hear those words like, I don't have to hold back my strength to verse a, like a father type of character. So Mark said, word? Boom, I'm gonna go full body strength. And that's when he gave no fucks, destroy you left and right, hook against your face, and then destroy your brain until you cannot breathe or even have a sip of fluid going down your mouth. It's like, you are dead, my guy.
Yeah,
I think Angstrom did exactly what he wanted to. I think his whole thing was he wanted to prove a point to Mark, and he proved the point. That he's no better than his other counterparts.
Exactly.
True.
At the end of the day, you're a killer, and
you lose your sense of reality, and you let your emotions get to you. But Mark of this universe that we know, he's not like this. This wasn't what he was wanting to. Mark got pushed to the point because, one, for Oliver and for his mother Debbie, like Paul said, Debbie didn't have to go through this shit. She got her arm wrecked. She got beat up through a coffee table. She got thrown to her bookshelf. She did not get needed to this. Langstrom just wanted to cause damage, but Langstrom didn't even know who's the one that's choosing this, because he was trying to decide, wait, is this the original Langstrom, the one that actually wanted to have peace, or the other Langstrom that has gone through hell and back because of the other worlds of Mark?
Yeah.
Well, the horrible part about that too is just like the majority of what was in his brain are the ones that wanted revenge on Mark, which is why he like pushed him so far to basically kill Langstrom. I mean, like,
and that's why I was satisfied. That's why I was personally satisfied with the Langstrom fight. Like,
I think that the satisfaction is going to differ a lot for y'all than it would for me. Mm-hmm. Because for me, when I read that fight, there was a whole issue where he's in the Walking Dead universe, Like
Yeah,
literally
right.
interacting with everybody from The Walking Dead. I get to see him interact with the Avengers. I get to see him interact with Batman for more than just like it was still like 2-3 frames, but still like I get to see him interact with these characters. Like, and it was something that like was a big deal in the comics, and then
Right.
to just kind of see it either reduced to a joke or flat out like changed and scraped down to nothing is kind of disappointing for me when it's like, oh, I've been waiting for this since episode 1, and it's like, sorry, rights issues, and I get it. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand.
like how can you get Avengers or Batman cameo because now you have to pay Marvel or you have to work at DC, or you could do like any type of silhouettes. Like my favorite joke was episode 7 or the beginning of episode 7 when Mark had to leave Ember in Comic-Con, and he literally had a joke with one of the art directors saying about animation, like when is the next season, and explaining how an animation budget is. I don't know what the comic book joke was, probably saying the same ones or saying like how like a comic being released is, but the animation jokes of how saying that you would do the far away shot or show the shot of the said actor or actresses not showing the mouth but just showing the head of them still talking but not showing the actual the lip lab of it.
In the comics, he was like, so he was basically asking about the comic process. He was like, well, it's really easy because sometimes you can just use the same panel over repeatedly for a dramatic effect and it works. And Mark's like, are you serious? And there's 4 panels of them going back and forth, same panel just staring at each other, and then Mark goes, oh, I see your point.
Oh wow, breaking fourth wall.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
but the reason, like, I'm like, so Spider-Man could have happened. Sony has a deal with Amazon to produce any Spider-Man content under 45 minutes in animated form. They have a deal with Amazon or over 45 minutes, one of the two. And Invincible, whatever it is, Invincible falls within that categorization.
Yeah, that's true.
Since they have a deal with Sony, or since Amazon has a deal with Sony for both the Spider-Man Noir show and the Silk show coming on, they could have done that. They could have easily just been like, yeah, sure, why not? We'll let you use Spider-Man for 10 minutes. Because like if you're not gonna do the full episode, it's just gonna be like one scene. Like fuck it, just let him use it. You've already got the deal.
Hey, who knows how that went behind the scenes with the business and
Yeah,
companies.
Yeah.
shit happens. So like it's whatever. It's always gonna be a lot less to me because of the things I was expecting to happen. But
Understandable.
next season should be fine. I think that I've got a lot better hopes for next season because everything next season doesn't rely on outside IP, and it's things that they've already pretty much solidly set up. So I think we'll be fine.
I was excited when I saw the different dimension universe of The Walking Dead. I was shocked or impressed that we actually saw a couple minutes of it. I wish we saw more, but like you said, like the IP, even though it's the same creator, Robert Kirkman doing it, so it's pretty weird choices that we didn't see more of that or any of the characters of the main characters from The Walking Dead at least pop up in a little animated scene or cameo would have been nice as well.
I mean, majority of everything you guys said was honestly on the line of what I was gonna say. But again, going back to the fact that I didn't read the comics, I have seen bits and pieces of how it was. I will admit that, I mean, at least to me, the comics fights looked a little more better than how it did in the animation. I was expecting a lot more, and we didn't get as viewers what we wanted, but it's really what Jokester said, and I have really had my theories on it. We might see more of Langstrom next season, because at the very end of all the episodes, you see him going to like different worlds, different universes, and that really makes you think like, is that like for a reason? Is he preparing for something? We really don't know. So it's an open-ended question that I really want to see that they don't drop the ball on, that we really see in season 3.
Yeah, because my theory is whenever you have a multiverse, there's usually just going to be one that we forget, like one part of that multiverse that we forget.
Right.
That another Langstrom could most likely pop up.
Yeah, or there's a clone of him. There's probably him traveling. She probably found a machine like just in case I get killed from Mark. Maybe he found a version about duplicate, take her blood genes, put it in him, where he could probably clone himself just in case.
Yeah, he did fuck with the clone twins, whatever I forgot their names. He did mess with them, so it's
Mulder
very much a
twins?
possibility. Yeah,
Yeah, the Mauler.
The brothers.
the Mahler twins. So it very much could be a possibility. There's another Langstrom out there.
Yeah,
Entirely possible.
possible.
The last three things we need to talk about is how did everyone feel about Anissa and Mark? We finally got Anissa popping up and destroying a kaiju in a matter of seconds, and observing Mark's situation with the relationship of holding Mark's girlfriend by the neck, and she's being feared of her life. I felt that anxiety. I felt that scaredness. I'm like, bitch, I would be scared too. Anybody that you could die in a matter of 0.0001 second just by a squeeze. I felt that.
See, I loved it simply for the fact of that is when I knew the relationship was over. That is when I knew that relationship was over, and I was like, "Thank you, Anissa. Thank
Everything, everything was going so smooth. Everything was going so smooth and so happy that day. It was like, yeah, I'm not talking to Cecil today. I'm basically off work.
You're right.
Everything's great. And then it's just like, yeah, no, everything's not great. You are a target, kid.
I did not
And
see
guess
that.
what?
Fuck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you are a target, and your weakness is right here with you. Nah, you done fucked up. You done fucked
Also,
up.
the fight between Anissa and Mark I just loved it so much. She beat the dog breaks off that nigga. It was
Fight?
Yo, Mark,
but then
Mark needs to know how to fight.
Question
He,
mark?
he needs to know how to square hands, because if you're gonna fight
he
your own
tried.
people,
He tried.
man, you are slacking. How you he is too front forward. He goes in with punching and don't even analyze that your opponent is better in combat. You need to think outside the box against her. Like, even your father Omni-Man has taught you, like, if your opponent is outsmarting you, you gotta outsmart them before in combat. And he was failing miserably.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
what got me was
Gohan.
he did better when they were on the Bug Planet against Ponytail Chick than
Yeah.
he did against Anissa, which I don't know how much stronger Anissa is than Ponytail Girl, but like,
lot.
good.
A lot.
Oh, really?
definitely.
Okay.
A lot.
Okay. It's good. God Almighty, she beat the dog shit out of bro.
All I'm gonna say is conquest, and I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I'm scared for when that nigga pops up. I'm so scared.
I'm scared for Conquest. I don't know much about him.
Oh
I
my
just
God.
know that he's the man of all men. He's the alpha of alpha. He's the omega alpha.
Listen, where
Fuck.
Cecil said that Mark was not him, granted that was in reference to his dad. When Cecil said that Mark was not him, Conquest is kind of him.
Yes. Yo, when Cecil said, like, yo, Mark, my boy, you gotta know how to handle this situation. Do not fuck up with Vanessa. When Mark was smart, he said that they need me. She cannot kill me. I'm gonna do what I can with this. I'm like, all right, Mark.
Mark had heart. He was
Yeah.
like,
All
hey,
right, do what you can.
Kill me. Do it.
Let's go. Let's do this.
I thought Anessa was gonna kill the people they save on the ship. I'm like, yo, Anessa, if you're gonna do this, why would you make them believe they was gonna be alive? Why would you do that?
I'm glad we got at least 2 seasons before that happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 That to
The
happen,
one thing that's spoiled.
doesn't happen after the fight. The entire portion was
no.
correct.
Yeah, that's the thing. So a lot of people were spooked about that when they heard she was gonna be there. It's like, no.
It's too soon. We cannot get that yet.
There's a couple of very important things that have to happen before we ever get there.
Yes.
It's gonna be at least 4 years before we get that. So it'll be all right.
So tell me this much at least, because I already have my theories about it as someone who has not read the comics. I'm assuming she's gonna get rizzed up seeing, Mark potentially grow up to be a better Viltrumite somehow, and then fall for the traps, and then we see that scene. Is that potentially what happens?
Rome, that's more you.
I saw that doesn't.
There is going to be 2 very major conflicts that have to occur before that happens.
Mhm.
And by conflicts, I mean like war level shit.
I know what you're saying. I see what you're pointing out. I'm already already like hitting more or less. So I think we're on the same page. I got you.
Yeah, no, there's got to be like 2 fucking wars before we can get to that. Like, it's gonna be a while. So we might get it next season, or we might get a season after next. But I'm thinking it's gonna be at least 2 seasons if they do it at all.
So talking about the last 2 wars, the last 2 conversation is Amber's relationship went on a downhill with Mark. How did everyone like the execution of their ramping of emotional, mental strength in that? Because I did love it. As somebody who is Amber and Mark wanted to be with her. He was willing to sacrifice being a hero to be for her. And Amber couldn't be in his world of the hero, knowing that she could die in any second, even though she loves him so much, willing to be with him, but feeling that close to death at death doors with Anissa, she just felt like, I really cannot be in your world. I love you, Mark, but you are meant to be here. You're meant to be the greater good that you are. But I love their relationship. I love how they didn't have any words to say each other, because as anybody in any human relationship, knowing that sometimes, as much as you may love your partner, you sometimes have to realize that you are probably not meant for each other. And I love that, because I have been with somebody that I know that we were never meant for each other at the time. Even if we didn't have the communicative skills or whatever it may be, we knew at the time we were not meant for each other. And I love that they got to show that in Mark and Amber, even though we knew down the line they were not meant to be, but we got to at least see the relationship from rising to falling, and organically, even that didn't force the breakup. It was something that they both knew meant that, hey, we cannot be together. Our worlds do not connect. And I love that. As somebody that didn't read comic, even though I don't know how it ends, I love the different interpretation of their love story and how they were not able to succeed.
I think the only thing I would want to point out with all of this is, because I'm sure you guys have heard this too, and I'm sure chat and audience have heard this somewhat of a phrase too with it. It's like, in any relationship, you're gonna have to make sacrifices. You're gonna have to sacrifice time, maybe sacrifice money, sacrifice any relationship you have, whether it's romantic, friendship, whatever it is. There's gonna be some level of sacrifice. But that's the kicker. There's going to be some level to that. And where Amber and Mark both, they were sacrificing a lot of stuff. A lot of it had to deal with, their own personal things, like especially with Amber being in college and Mark being a superhero and all that. And it's like, it reached a point where Amber was just like, you know what? This is a level that I cannot sacrifice anymore. I cannot sacrifice like my own well-being. And yeah, just like what you said, it's like you get to a point where it's just like, I love you, I care about you, but we cannot be, and it's, oh man, it really sucks when you reach that
I
level.
felt bad to see both of them crying, knowing that they love each other but cannot be with one another. Like, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
Brian,
and like that's the
for
thing.
real.
And like that's why it's so powerful that like Mark went straight to Eve. Well, I
Yes.
mean, he didn't go straight to her. Like, he went to Rex, obviously, too, for a little bit of relationship advice. I guess he's the only male person he could really talk to.
No,
but that's besides the point.
He spoke the guy. He spoke to the guy that's voiced by Mark
Oh
Hamill.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He talked to him a little bit, but like that's the thing. Is just like Amber. She's a civilian. Like, she's not in this world. Even the guy who's voiced by Mark Hamill, he's kind of in that superhero world as well. So like, he understands the type of sacrifices you need to make. And Amber, I think she handled it a lot more maturely than I think a lot of people didn't like how she handled season 1
Yes.
things.
Agreed.
But that's the thing. There was a sense of maturity with all of this.
To add to that, I love
yeah.
how he asks his mom for advice too, knowing that she's in the side of a spouse partner where she's a normal human, knowing that she was in the shoes, explaining her side, that you're alone, you're feeling left out, you're in a relationship of set amount of years, but I still was alone to raising you, Mark. I was like, even though Mark, you're my happiest joy, Nolan for whatever it is now, I was happy having him, but I was always alone being as a partner and being as a mother, as a parent. So I love that also, just having your mother and also asking relationship advice from your mother in her point of view, in her perspective, and Mark understanding that from her perspective as a spouse without powers and how is it for him. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
just
like
that
and
Amber had the extra pressure of, unlike Debbie, Mark is a target.
Yes.
yeah.
Like people keep coming for Mark. People didn't really come like that for Nolan. He just went out to be a hero because he was pretending.
Yeah.
Mark is Mark is everywhere trying to fix his dad's issues. High key.
Yeah.
So like
And
that's the extra pressure that Amber had.
and that's what's great about him going to, I mean, I'm gonna keep saying going back to Eve with all this, because like she's somebody that's in that world, so it's like now he can kind of focus in being in that world rather than trying to do this double life kind of thing, because like this even kind of ties into him just not wanting to finish college either, because like
That's a huge
that's
decision.
that well, not only just that is highly relatable, because like
Wo-
as somebody that went to college
100%.
for a few years, like, and then just coming to the realization that, this isn't what I want to do. Like, and like making that decision of I need to just find me. I need to do what I think is right, and what's right is not being here. Like, again, there was a certain level of maturity that really came with these conversations that I've really appreciated from this second part of this season, and even the first part too, with like the whole Omni-Man stuff too, which I know we didn't get a chance to well, no, we talked about it a little bit
Yeah.
during that time, but anyways, that's one thing I at least wanted to highlight with all that, just the level of maturity that went into some of the dialogue here.
Yeah. Only reason I was so excited that Anissa ended it was simply
Hmm.
because I love the fact that they had these feelings. It went on for too long though. It went on for way too long, y'all.
Hmm.
You should have realized after his mom almost died in the explosion last season that you need to get the fuck out of Dodge.
or
Yeah.
or when Mark was gone for 2 months and then girl was still trying to tell people, yeah, he's studying, he's going back
Yep.
home, continue lying for him, but you never even know where your boyfriend's at.
Exactly. So that's
Hmm.
why, despite feelings, and I love romance. I'm so glad Anissa ended it.
Yeah.
My thing though is we we know they're broken up, right? But we, people that are relatable to a lot of these scenes, in the show, that in between Mark and Amber, that sometimes when you break up with somebody, you might still have feelings for that other person, and we see that Eve further and pretty much confesses to Mark, and Mark now knows this. So for season 3, if they were to potentially go out, we all know that Eve and Amber are best friends. How are they gonna take that? How are they gonna see that? Are they gonna become enemies now, knowing that they both like Mark, might not like Mark, or are they gonna be okay with it? Like, oh, Eve might go out with Adam and with Mark, and like, oh, you know, Amber's gonna be cool with it. That's really something I really want to see going into season 3.
Same, but my
Right.
answer is Amber can't beat Eve ass, so it's like, what would be the point?
Oh yeah, Amber can't do shit. Oh, she could be like, I had him first.
Hmm.
Rome, any thoughts about Amber relationship with Mark going downhill, or you're good?
I was waiting for it to end. That's about it. Like I liked how they handled it, and as somebody who went through a breakup last year that was similar, emotion wise, like I get it. Like it's a rough situation for everybody involved. Like it's not fun.
Yep.
And that did definitely bring up some old feelings that I wish it hadn't. But I mean, it was definitely an amazing representation of mutual love that just didn't work. You know.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just how the cookie crumbles. Hopefully, I can't guarantee that. I mean, it's probably going to go the way it did in the comics, obviously. But if it doesn't, I'll be interested to see. But I hope that Mark finds what he's looking.
Well, with our last topic of this show of Invincible Spotlight, sometimes you still gotta be in love with your ex-wife that you call her a
I
pet.
miss my wife.
I knew Robo's gonna love it.
The biggest fuck boy status of all time goes to Omni-Man
Oh
this
my
year.
god.
So our last
Yes,
conversation, since they're intertwined with each other, we got Nolan and Alan as our last topic of the night for the Invincible review. How do we got with Alan becoming broken strength, where he even had the chance to even fight Anissa and not feel squat? My man squared up, was like, you know what? I'll get captured. I'm gonna get thrown in jail, find out what's going on over there, and met up with Nolan. How did y'all feel about the little quick square up in hands in space?
I love the realization of Alan being OP. Or
Right.
at least on
The
Beltramite
plastic-
status.
Oh,
'Cause
This
we
man
thought
was
it-
just happy. He was like, oh man, that
He was
punch,
like, oh,
my
alright.
arm is good.
I'm a little
Like-
bigger now, huh?
I love it. I love it so much. I love Alan. I ain't gonna lie.
He's absolutely
so-
waxing Viltrumites at this point.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Because
to
like
see
he
it.
already knows how to fight. Unlike Mark, he already knows how to fight. And
Yo!
now he just has
Mhm.
the strength to back it up.
Alan, please teach Mark every time you go to space. Stop just talking to him. I just realized that. Give him some lessons.
I assume you
Show
were
this
gonna
man
do
how
that
to
in the
fight.
first part of season 2. But I didn't see that at all. Like no type of arc, no type of training. They just talked, on the moon in the first season, and then that was it. And Alan went to go do whatever he needed to do after that.
Man, he better come back next summer
Yeah.
in Earth and show him how to fight. It's like, yeah, Mark, I beat up this girl Anissa. She was easy. Mark would be like, what? I had a hard time. Like, where? Let me teach you how to fight. Let me teach you how to the right ways.
Yeah.
Listen, just know the training arc is about to go crazy. Mark got the breakup and the murder trauma buff.
Oh, it's
So
over.
the training arc is about to go crazy.
Boy,
But,
finna
like,
be in the gym listening to NBA YoungBoy.
Man, I hope so. I've seen Mark getting thrown off in too many short YouTube clips that just pop in my timeline, and all I see is just Mark bleeding or Mark getting beat up by somebody, and I'm like, I better see Mark in a training arc once at least, so I can know
Right.
he's getting better instead of getting his ass whipped. I need that.
Right.
yeah, but like the fight. I'm so glad that he did have the idea to go on the prison.
Yeah, that's smart. You're like,
to
hey,
recruit Omni-Man. And Omni-Man, bruh, he's just like, I feel like he's definitely gonna revolt before they do the execution, because I
Hell
think it's I think it is the dumbest, most weird him type shit to have. Oh yeah, we need you at your peak before we execute you. What? Why?
that's weird, but
Why?
That
Did you
feels-
go for-
you know what?
All
No,
I know is this
that makes
jailbreak arc
sense.
finna go absolutely sick.
Yes, bruh. I am the team up between Nolan
And Alan is gonna be broken.
Because Alan used to fight Nolan. Like, they used to fight each other.
Yo, the way Nolan questioned seeing Alan, like, boy, why you here? And just Nolan just like, hey, I came here because your son. We just have a good time. We're friends now. Nolan's like, wait, Mark, hey, how's my son? Nolan
Yeah.
didn't give a
He
fuck.
gave
He
me a
just
bunch
asked
of-
him, how is he?
I miss my wife.
Yeah, your son gave me a bunch of books. They were very
All right, hold up.
interesting reads. Which, Nolan's books.
All right, Rome. I
Oh,
saw.
that's another can of worms.
Rome. The last thing about this is I saw a spoiler on a YouTube short that Debbie was giving the action with Nolan in a spaceship. That had me so much questions. Like, it was popping my YouTube short. I don't know why YouTube thinks I want to see spoilers for some reason.
Oh,
But
that's like a decade down the line.
alright, cool. Because when I saw that, I'm like, hold up. Debbie's giving the cheeks to Nolan even if she hated him. I'm like, how long ago this happened? And I'm like,
Mark's like 30 something at that point.
alright, cool.
Dang.
It's,
All right.
it's the story goes.
It makes
This isn't really a spoiler. By the end of the story, Mark's like 500 years old.
I believe it.
I believe
Because
it. I believe it.
because of the line, "What will you have after 500 years?" That was on purpose.
Oh,
That's
shit.
from the comics.
I'm sorry, chat, for whoever, just tune out, but this not who's spoiler, but goddamn, makes sense. Totally interesting.
And
huh?
and I'm not saying that Mark dies at 500. I just know he's like around 500 when the series ends. Like
I'm all for it.
it goes that far. Like the
Honest-
series lasts for a while.
All that tells me is at the age of like 50, Debbie still got it. Debbie still
Oh
got
yeah.
it.
Oh yeah.
She
Oh
still
yeah.
got it.
Hey.
yeah.
Strong. You know what's up?
Hey,
I'm
Nolan
gonna-
could
hey,
say
I'm
I missed your wife, and
Hey.
he is willing to go back for round 2, round 6, round 7 for it.
I'm gonna
go
be
for
real
it.
with y'all. I'm gonna be sick as hell when Nolan start wearing that fucking
The cape.
the Hulk Hogan mustache.
Oh,
Oh, let me tell you something, brother.
oh yeah.
Who you calling boy?
I'm not boy no more, father. Anybody got last thoughts about Nolan and Alan in this last arc and everything?
I miss
We
my
did
wife.
not
wife.
need to know that Alan's clapping cheeks so hard. That narrator was uncomfortable, but I was here for it. I
He
said, let's
was-
see
Oh,
more of it. He said no.
I love the
Then
line.
we go see Amber like getting their cheeks clapped, and I'm like, okay, bet. And then we go see Rick and William getting their cheeks clapped, and we're getting their cheeks clapped.
Bro,
And then we're
everybody
like,
was
nope.
clapping cheeks in that
Except
episode.
Mark at the
Hey,
end,
listen.
because William thought that he was
Nah, Mark
gonna
got some ass in
No,
that
Mark
episode
was
too.
Mark
Okay.
was hidden.
Yes,
No,
yes, he
clapped
did.
Mark lost his virginity in
Amber
that
was
episode.
Like, got rubber, and he's
You're
like,
right,
nah,
you're right,
bro,
you're
fuck
right.
it, fuck out of here. And she said, I bet, fuck it, and bam.
Nah, they
But
was
hey.
clapping cheeks.
William thought that he was clapping cheeks again because he put the sock, and then Adam the alien said like, in my planet we have the socks for having sex, and then Mark was like,
He was like, yeah.
is that same
I
here?
love how that's a universal thing.
Yeah,
I
it's a
love how
universal
that's a
thing.
universal thing.
Put the sock on the door. It means that aliens wear socks in his planet. It seems like it.
Yeah.
Aliens know what it means, but my college roommate didn't.
Stop.
Oh, I'm done.
Stop.
I'm done. That was it.
Hey, for our last segment, our wrapping closing thoughts. Does anybody have any last jokes, any last remarks about the new segment, life updates, or Invincible remarks that we want to bring up for our last segment of the night?
I miss
the
my
last
wife.
thing, I want you to I just want, when you're editing this video, episode 7, 12 minutes 33 seconds. I laughed my ass off. That's all I was saying. You'll find it out when you edit this.
Wait, hold on. Episode 7. 12 minutes, 33
What?
seconds.
I laughed
on.
my ass
we're gonna-
clean off.
I definitely
do
changed
this
my
tomorrow.
Discord status to I miss my wife. So I'm probably gonna get some very confused DMs.
People are like, bro, when did you get married? Last season. When I left my
I know
wife, I
I'm
left
gonna
a
get
pet.
I'm gonna get at least 3 messages like, please don't tell me you talking to that girl again. I'm like, it's what?
No. Crash, have any last thoughts about Invincible, since I know you was here with us on our journey to review season 2. So you have any last thoughts about Invincible overall season 2, or any thoughts that you're excited for season 3 overall?
I don't have any expectations for season 3, and at the same time, I have really high expectations for season 3. I still don't believe I'm gonna read the comics by the time season 3 releases. I hope season 3 releases really soon, and I'm all here for seeing more. Go through it still, but I hope we get as viewers what we really want, which is a lot of action, a lot of gore, a little bit of romance, and a lot of plot twists. That's what I'm really praying for.
Training arc.
Man, for me,
Training arc. Training arc.
thank you.
Training arc.
Oh, we
You're gonna
need
be
that training
disappointed.
arc.
You're gonna be disappointed.
If I'm disappointed, that's fine. I just need this man at least to be taught how to fight better, instead of just flying straight
Yeah.
through and then being thrown around by the other opponent and just being smashed around. I don't need that, Mark.
That's how Viltrumites fight. Damn it.
Man.
That's all Omni-Man did was throw Mark through buildings and punch him a lot. He wasn't
Yeah.
over there squaring up. That's all they do is.
Anissa was
it's
doing
brute
better at
force.
least.
But she won't bobbing and weaving. She was just beating the nigga ass. She was quicker than him. That was it.
Well,
Yeah.
Mark needs
I
to
mean,
know
some
better
of the
how to
Viltrumites
whip
do know how to
ass.
fight. Ponytail girl had hands.
Yeah,
And she also had a knife in her ponytail.
that too.
She also got her jaw
You
ripped
still don't want
off.
to get the smoke. You still don't want to get the
And
smoke.
hands.
Anyways,
She got her hands ripped off too. Yeah.
What I'm excited for season 3 is just for Amazon Prime to not be scared of to show blood, animation, the gore, show the storytelling that we're meant to be. Robert Kirkman, storytelling wise, when it comes to the mental health, our characters, and see what they're going through the past 2 years we've gotten for the 2 seasons, or for the characters of the past 6 months, 2 years for them of what they've been going through. Thank you for the more humanity side of the storytelling you have shown us. Can you stop cutting stuff up, and the pacing? That's all I need to get improved.
We get all of it consecutively. Like, don't have us wait months, bro.
Yeah, like,
come on.
yo,
Yeah.
just look. We
Yeah.
have a lot of stories. Just tell you season 3 in your 8 weeks. Do not need us to tell it in 8 months. 8 weeks to tell it what it is. If you're gonna do it 8 months, each episode better be an hour and 10 minutes. That's what it be.
I'm gonna just say what everybody's thinking and nobody's gonna say. I had to watch a man get a bullet hole put in his head and watch it leak all over the floor. You can show us some titties, bro.
Exactly.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Hey man, if we have it at Adult Swim, we could get it in Amazon Prime. If you're in a streaming service, you have less liability when it comes to the TVA, or I forgot what's the
Hashtag free the nipple.
hashtag. That
I think I miss my boobs.
Kravitz cut.
I think I miss my wife's boobs.
I think I miss my wife's boobs.
Which one? The 3 of them? Of the bug? Or the 2 human ones?
Yes.
I think I
Release
miss
the insect cut. Release the insect cut.
Hey, bro, ain't nobody trying to see that roach pussy.
Before the show goes on a rail, Watkins, I'm not sure if you gave any of your remaining remarks. Have any ones?
I think I
Good.
just did. I
I was saying real quick, Rome. Oliver's name of Mark's brother, right? The small brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he have any significant impact in the comics past
Oh
season?
Yes.
my
Yes.
god.
Yes.
Okay.
Magnificently.
I do not know anything at all past this, so I'm like, I don't
Oh
know.
my god. And I hope and I pray that the way they handle him near the end of the run doesn't come to happen in the fucking show.
Hopefully they change it. I heard a lot of people were
Hopefully
not a
they
big
do.
fan of. Hopefully they change it and improve it. In that
Oliver is like okay, so Oliver is literally the prototype Damian Wayne from this point forward. Until he becomes an adult, he is Damian Wayne. And that means exactly what you think it means.
I'm excited. I did not
Yeah,
know
like,
that,
yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
excited
yeah.
for it.
That's
I'm
it.
excited
No,
for it.
that's it. That's like attitude wise. He's like straight up, man, fuck you, bitch. I'm Omni-Man's son. Swear to God. That's his attitude. He is
Ain't no
Damian
way.
Wayne.
Hell
He is
Hell yeah.
he thinks
Hell
he is
yeah.
hot shit and he gets his ass
You
beat
know what?
for it every time.
Yes. Yes. I was just
I'm
gonna ask, does he get his
telling
ass
you.
beat for it?
Bro, you are
I'm
going
here
to
for that.
love when Oliver, because you know he grows fast. By the time next
Mhm.
season starts, he's gonna be air quote like 12 years old.
Dang.
He's still gonna be purple, but he's gonna be like 12 years old in his age. You know. Once the way he ages is, once he hits adulthood, he ages normally, because when
Okay.
he hits adulthood, he becomes he becomes a full Viltrumite. You know, like Mark
Okay.
did.
No, normally.
Yeah.
No,
Makes sense.
yeah. So you know how Mark becomes a full Vilt, like his dad said once he's 17, he's like, you're full Viltrumite now at this point. Same thing happens with Oliver, obviously. So eventually the purple's gonna go away, but he is gonna be purple next season, at the very least.
Okay.
And you're gonna enjoy everything that happens with Oliver. I'm telling you now.
I can't
All
wait
right,
for it.
I can't wait to see it.
Just like he's just a shit-eating little kid, bro. I love it.
Yes.
So with
Hell yeah.
that, it seems like we're good on our show. For the audience and chat to know, these are our options for our next anime podcast, episode 146 and forward. These are our options. None of them are confirmed yet. Solo Leveling Season 1 review, Knuckles Season 1 review, X-Men 97, maybe Fallout review. So we have our options of what shows to bring our spotlight discussion for in our next coming up shows. So without further ado, guys, definitely comment down below what you guys want from us, our next review. Stay tuned for that. We appreciate that. But let's go for the outro. Thank you for watching and joining us tonight and taking the time to listen in, and appreciate for the panel for to be here for the full show. The Anime Podcast is presented by AniMa Studio and our production team, Vash, Rome, Jokestar, and our special guest for tonight, Crash is here representing for the website coming up soon. And special thanks for our producers as well. Don't forget to follow our socials, are all down below on the description. And definitely stay tuned for all our audio podcasts to be on the podcast side. And lastly, share and like, and most importantly, give our feedback on what you guys want to see on behalf of the episode. And you guys is what make the show special. And on behalf of everyone in the Animal Studio team, we thank you for joining us in the Anime Podcast. See you later. Take care. The podcast is not recorded by a live studio audience. We see you on the next one.
Peace.
We miss the titties.
Release
It's my wife.
I missed my wife.